carries. That is how you're going to win the game. You have to put everything into it.
I'm really curious to see how he actually makes up the draft coming into this, right? Because we got the Jinx ban coming through from BLG. Do they try and stop that as well when you look across things like the Annie? I really don't think you can give it to Yagao. Yagao hasn't really been having the best performances at MSI, but when most of your content is pick champion, click on them and do your job, but it works out really well. So I think getting rid of these champions are definitely going to make it
I still cannot win
for T1, especially in those early skirmishes.
I saw BLG very steady lah.
I think the
Even when T1 come in
it shifts up the 80
and
carry
gang, like start the fight,
we've seen it just
they
turns
still
into a
like
Zeri for Xayah
full
trade
back and
more
then
often than
slowly
not.
quite.
BLG came ahead on that trade previously. For now, Lucian has been permabanned against T1. That will remain the case. T1 keep taking away these priority jungles. They were able to get the Wukong previously, but just really want to make sure that Shun does not get a chance to play it.
Yeah, the drop in the Maokai ban, believing more than likely that BLG are going to ban it away themselves, has been an incredibly strong pick, but we'll have to see exactly what the plan is. If you're BLG, you also give the opportunity here for you, either the Maokai or the K'Sante, to be left open unless T1 decides to ban away one of them.
You stream, I check, I mute myself.
Right. Are they going to slam it down? I personally think that Lulu is just such a big problem too. So much late game scaling with everybody having engaged in all three roles. The peeling there. Okay, they leave up the choice. Now you have to decide if you're going to be able to ban the Maokai or you want to get it back on the trade. It gives so much for team fights. I feel like the K'Sante, there's no way this thing gets through anymore ever.
Where's the response now? Side of BLG. I'll hold my breath, audience. Copperbox, just take a breath. They're not there yet, but the Jinx has been the prio pick. It's been the premier option. Once both 80 carries are familiar with the power of Ophelia, Jinx becomes immediately stronger pick.
And usually you get to see something like a Sejuani coming out here, at least from the LPL teams, because the idea is, hey, look, I can just stick a big beast for liner in the way of that Maokai ultimate, and now we have the Jinx that's got that long range. We can play for that, where we can kite back and always have that Sejuani ult to start off fights on our terms. But with the Lulu taken as well, you're looking at a very strong bot lane for BLG.
Now we've seen this tried before. When you give up the Lulu pick down there for bottom side to pick a Blitzcrank to make it volatile and look for kills, especially when you have the Blitzcrank plus either a Maokai or a Nautilus, and you have these two champions flashing forward, trying to create lots of early kills around the early Dragon skirmishes. But I also have really liked when you go for the Braum look. Okay, flex.
All right, calm down, T1 fans. It's a flex. It's a flex.
It could be bottom. It could be bottom. I think the better look is for sure to flex it to bottom lane.
Calm down.
Nautilus was amazing. Okay, Carrier's Nautilus amazing. So that's definitely the better look for T1. I know everybody, you can hear the whole crowd, everybody at home too, as soon as they see it, and it is Faker locking it in, but he can easily trade it to bottom lane. And look for those kills, same idea.
And that's what I was going to say. I think it's a great option as well, because you can give it down to the bot side, but it's also a takeaway from Yagao. Yagao has been trying to play this. It's very easy, kind of going back to that point-and-click style that we're talking about, and setting then up this Jinx for success. So it actually opens up your bans here as well, because it still fulfills that role of try and pick up onto the Lulu. So I do like it. Sion for Bin, though, very surprised that. I know he was playing at a huge amount after losing to ADG and 369 in the finals on it. We've traditionally seen him go, maybe play one or two, but I want to go back to my Jax. I want to go back to being a carry. We'll have to see how this one's going to pan out, though.
Faker Tristana, man.
One plan now. Everybody is now so used to it. They're like, see Sion, red side. Okay,
remember when I said
you're level 1?
Yeah, remember I said when they weren't going to 5v5 at level 1? I was wrong. Okay, it's going to be all about this bot side.
And that's exactly how T1 responded against JDG, right? We saw JDG try and go for that invade, and T1 were like, all right, let's go. Fisticuffs up, we'll see what you can do, and ended up trading 1 for 1. We'll have to see if it's going to be a similar story here where T1 try and take that fight.
And BLG, they're not surprised by the Nautilus flex. They're keeping their eyes open. As soon as you have the Maokai, everybody always thinks of AD mid laners, the Jace, the Tristana. And they're like, you know what? It could very easily go there, so they ban away the Tristana. They're more scared of that one. And they cover both bases, so they don't want to let through that blitz I was talking about, so the double hook composition here.
Keeping that option open, though, to see where ultimately the Nautilus
Gwen
end up. I think it's a good call out. Not giving Tristan over to Faker. I mean, does he have another AD mid lane option that he wants to go for? Will he go for the Jace, or will they just be content with putting him onto utility and finding another carry angle elsewhere? Is this a game where we see perhaps a Kindred come in again? Certainly good against a lot of the tanky front lines, but not a champion who has looked good whatsoever in the past few days. Instead, BLG.
Kindred.
Gonna be the guys to grab the Kindred for themselves.
Shin is...
Elk literally had Kindred banned against him 15 games in a row in LPL. we are saying if someone's going to play
No,
it,
Shin is the
you
best
can
Kindred.
give the
I
pass
see how he
to
play.
Elk. He's an
Maybe
exceptional
he can
shooter.
teach
Yeah,
them how to
Shun
play.
is absolutely insane. Yeah, we know where you're going. Shun has
Picks
been
at 4.
So this has been a massive pick for him. Even when he initially joined IG, everyone knew him coming up from the LDL that this was the pick for him, and it was something that we tried to see take to a certain amount when he was on Invictus Gaming. Now BLG get to bring it out.
Wait, hold up.
Look at that composition that you see coming through.
Who
Now
mid?
with the Jace, you're gonna have good
Jace
push in the mid lane for Faker. You get Zeus onto this Kennen who can just
Faker
try and
play
dominate on the
Jace?
backline.
got played
Shun is
before?
going to have his work cut out for him. You've got it in my head.
Very last.
He who holds the champion occupies your brain space. This is an insane Silas angle, though. Maokai ultimate, Nautilus ultimate,
Kennen ultimate.
even Kennen ultimate. Insane ultimates to steal here for Yagao.
And see where they want to ultimately swap this one, what the angle is going to be, but certainly a lot of explosive team fighting potential on the side of T1. Jace a bit of a volatile mid laner. Certainly if he falls behind can feel a little bit lackluster, but BLG going to try their hand.
Yeah, he keep.
With the Kindred again has not looked great in the last few best of fives, but if anyone could do it, it's Shun. And see how T1 can try to snowball here in the early game. They have so many tools, kind of like last game, to get fights kicked off in their favor.
And I mentioned as soon as the sign was locked in, you better start thinking about your level 1.
Carrier, what happened,
Kindred
man?
is one of the junglers that benefits the most from aggressive level 1 starts here. You can be so aggressive with this champion. Everyone in solo queue cheeses with it. All you need is a red buff on Kindred. And
He doesn't agree with this pick.
Owner himself trying to utilize that, going for the invade.
No one saying
So
anything.
let's see about it. Will BLG be able to get off to a crazy start?
I'm really curious to see how BLG can make it work though, because you need
finally.
to hit the ground running. If Faker ends up getting pushed in mid and then is able to facilitate a lot of this potential 5v5, that's exactly what we saw against JDG in that game too. So we're excited to see if T1 will just take the fight once more.
Okay.
Of course, here in the featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Oh shit.
Hell
no.
Called out. Carry again on the big playmaker on once again on the Lulu. See what they can do as we get
Is they gonna do the Cyan bottom gang?
What is the answer here? This has been such a difficult strategy to really do anything against.
Okay, if they keep Kennen topside, I want to see Zeus pull the
Oh
minion to try
my
and
god.
focus the minion so that you can get it pushing
Kennen
towards you
coming,
and deny
Kennen
the
coming.
Scion. But it looks like they might go for a re-entry. All right, they just ward up topside Raptors. BLG doing the same here, dropping the ward on Krugs, dropping the full ward here, up by Raptor Brush, and wrapping around for the Scion pull. Nobody is surprised.
I'm just waiting to see if T1 want to invade here, if they want to contest this vision at all. I think it would be very risky to
always
even
pick
walk
Cyan
forward.
for this.
Now going to sweep out the
One
ward,
go.
and poke over the wall on to carry. That damage will stick as the creeps are coming into lane quite quickly. So BLG will be uncontested on the start. Can they find the follow-up dive as well? Guma and Carrier, do they want to try to match here on the level 1 around this brush? For now, the answer is no.
So it looks like BLG going to be able to get this off. Guma Yushin carries out a wrap around though. Will be spotted by Bin.
Showing about to hit level 2 here. Been walking up. Scion, hands down, the most obnoxious level 1 champion in the game.
And just looking at the mini-map, Zeus is just going to push the wave here on Scion. So top side, T1 is trying to get waves pushed in instead of trying to pull for a deny. Krug fight.
Gonna get the smite down there. Ben still level 1.
Guma's losing a lot of
hold the
minion,
red
man.
button to reset it. Crucially,
Yeah.
denying Kindred that red. But now 3 members on the side of T1 on the bottom side of the map, but it's a 4v3.
Oh my god, they're gonna do that lah.
Now, what is the actual angle here? Elk crashing this wave, but Guma's not getting any experience.
And that's the big one here. Guma missed that entire first wave. He's missing the second. So even if BLG don't get the dive, they're still making Guma lose so much.
Hook from Carry is big. Level 2 from Owner as well. They have so much CC to try to stop this play. They're trying to lock down the Scion. Have to be careful of the passive of BLG. I think just happy to walk away with a massive bot side advantage. T1 on the opposite side, getting Zeus on the top side, some CS, but is it going to balance out?
Honestly, it is pretty big. This one is the most delayed the Scion has been with getting the least amount of value on the top side. He was able to bounce the wave off of the turret already, was able to deny it. So Zeus up 2 minion waves before Bin even arrives, and Bin didn't get to do the Scion death, go for dive, get any extra kills here. Kennen can have such a big impact. The Kindred ultimate, as long as you get it off early, can be difficult to work around, but there is not a exhaust on the side of BLG for those team fights for later. So Zeus on one of his signature champions, the lightning theme, that goes along with his name.
And you don't
might be
take
able to have
exhaust
that
into-
big influence.
And it does feel like a
Cannon.
huge amount of it's going to be like, Shun, can you get that ult, as you say? But also, Yagao, big Maokai ultimates. Can you actually turn around with a cannon ult of yourself? Even on, getting some of those whimsies off as the Zeus tries to come in, they can make such a
bottom
difference. But
mark.
Shun now moving down to
Nice.
this bottom side is going to be able to pick up this grab for himself and get his first mark.
Kasian lah.
Always questing to 4, want that extra 75 attack range, the big break point for Kindred so frequently. Now Shun setting his sights on the mid lane. Faker ready to backstep at a moment. Maybe just going to try to get a flash here. Yeah, not going forward, looking for the abduct. Is going to connect on the snare. Faker now trying to trade back. There's a sapling waiting in the bush. Owner over the wall here. Play is just going to fade away. Faker still walking out with his flash, so not going to cost him too much. Oh, but Shun, level 4, now stepping forward into Owner. 3, 4 on the mounting Dread. 1, 2, 3. Press the attack coming in as well. Yagao looking for the fall, but Zeus is right behind them. This is a bit aggressive. They're going to need to try to find their way out of this one. Ben coming in, but it might be too little too late. They're trying desperately to burn through Zeus, but Shun already shut down. BLG a bit off more than Chu. Yagao now running. He's got no mana. Ben desperate to get something back, but he's just a Scion. Hitting as much as he can. The passive is going to be big here. They have to slow down the zombie Scion. Faker running for his life. Zeus going to find the stun. Everyone on T1 will walk away. An incredible play.
And the top lane advantage
Okay.
matter.
Okay.
Top lane matters. Zeus with the push, Zeus with the lightning. He brings it down onto BLG. Ben cannot join
The
early.
Sion are
We
level
talked about
3.
how much he was pushed off. He was so far down, and Zeus zones him, so he joins the fight first, even with the extreme chase of BLG, of Shun on this Kindred. You want to abuse early on Kindred, but it's just too far. Top lane advantage. Here comes the
Toasting for what?
power in numbers, Dagda.
And this is the big thing. BLG just overextend. T1 have the collapse, and this is what Shun can bring. He can look absolutely fantastic, have an incredible series like we saw yesterday, but at times he will just overextend. We've seen it domestically, we've seen it at MSI, and now we're seeing it in this lower bracket final as well. BLG stepped that bit too far forward and T1 pounced.
It's just theoretically errors there. So much invested from BLG on the bottom side of the map with their level 1 invade and making it painful for Ben. He's sitting up there on Scion, so far behind, and then they decide to fight and over chase into that side of the jungle.
Maybe a mistake they couldn't afford to make, but again, Mounting Dread connecting. Shun, does he want to keep this one going on now?
Oh.
Flashing in there, fully committed to taking out the support, but he can just hook the wall and walk away. Owner here as well. BLG getting a little antsy, it feels like. Over-forcing here, both on the bottom side and on the top side. I guess they get the flash from Carrier, but they commit a lot of resources to make it
They like to flash
Carrier's
their
got Hex
flashes.
Flash, so he's
Just take their flash.
actually not too worried about that one, but we're staying active. Shun, Shun, Shun.
Trying to find a way into mid lane. Gao, level 6, now coming in. We're going to wait to try to find the angle on the stun. Faker now dashing out to safety. There's the follow-up. 1-2 on the mark. Mounting Dread going to connect. Looking to cut down Faker.
what?
Yagao
Oh my.
getting it on
Okay,
the
that's
backside with the chain lash.
The second proc just barely getting onto Faker there, even with the flash. And I didn't think that was going to work. BLG, no flash on Yagao, no flash on Shun. But Faker, that bit far up in the lane, and Shun with the revisit will pick up the kill.
Staying very active on this Kindred, ganking every single lane. I mean, technically, I guess we'll say the top lane chase was into a top lane play, but get some money right back there for BLG. Faker, no flash on the Jace 2. So you're always thinking about repeat visits because Yagao now level 6 on the Silas. So Owner has to be very careful whenever he shows around this mid lane. Yes, you want to throw saplings. Yes, you want to get vision for Faker. But if you show too close to Yagao, then he gets to steal your ultimate, one of the best ultimates in the game.
But it's anyone on T1 that shows up essentially gives a good ultimate. Hey, Nautilus, can you help? No, sorry, I don't want to give that across. Hey, Zeus, can you help? No, I don't want to give that across. And now BLG find Bane on that top side as T1. Start to move in, Owner in position, but looks like they will just back away for the moment.
This is the big thing about the Scion. You can get the plates, but it's very hard to dive this champion. Rocket coming bot lane, trying to stop the back, get a little bit of a tempo advantage here, but not going to come through. Guma getting the clean reset. He's able to make it in time. Elk going to grab that CS there. And an interesting game. Topside for T1 so very much in their favor. 2 kills to the Maokai feels excellent. Tied up in CS, been very far behind. But the bottom side for BLG, the mid lane as well, definitely looking in their favor.
But that's why I like what T1 are doing. They're like, hey, look, let's try and get as much vision down as possible. You can see the ward that spotted out Shun on Krugs. Owner actually looking for the invade here off the Faker's presence in mid lane. And even just getting saplings down so you can spot out Shun's route. Now you know for a fact that Shun's winning on bot side. So I imagine you'll see bot lane playing very passive, especially with Rift Herald about to come up. Looks like Owner just got a trade, knowing that he saw Shun go bot side.
Honestly, love this from Owner. I also love his build, by the way. I'm not a big fan of the first strike Maokai. You know, yeah, going for the DPS and trying to get really early demonic. I'm much bigger fan of the tank Maokais here, and Phase Rush makes it so much easier to play the mid game, play those team fights as well as the skirmishes. And he's going to be able to pick up the Rift Herald on top of those kills. The thing about Rift Herald, it gives you a lot of gold. It's also a lot of concentrated gold onto the jungler, and that is solo pickup for him. So this is going to be a very beefy Maokai, a real frontline Maokai.
And I think he's going to be able to empower Zeus even more here. The fact that you have nearly double the gold for Zeus versus that sign of 1,700 to 3,200 for Zeus. You've got plates that are falling in that top side. You can wander up there as Maokai, pop down that, and just make sure that this Ken is going to be huge.
Rocket connecting. Elk maybe overstaying, putting a little bit. Guma immediately going to find the snare. Polymorphed and forced back. Ulti coming in. Good deal.
Oh,
and he snipes him.
How the?
They're just between the minions.
What the heck?
That was a duel at high noon. Oh my
Seriously?
God.
Oh, that's
But he's pushed
okay.
Carry and Owner makes it happen on the bottom side.
No.
Yoinks
They
him
push
off
out the
ultimate
Jinx.
under the tower. T1 answer.
Meanwhile, they're playing 1v1 Yagao versus Faker, but again, Yagao out of mana.
Damn.
No avenue left there as first strike comes back up. Bloodbath on the bottom side.
Oh, Daga, that was so beautiful. The AD carries drawing in the duel down there. Ultimate for Zap.
It's the Zap gap, right? Just barely manages to squeeze it through, but so well done. And Elk getting that kill. Nice return, though, with Carey, as he said. Just barely managing to get that hook outside of the range of that Kindred ultimate will get the kill, but Elk now starting to rotate up. This is something we see a lot from the LPL teams where they're like, cool, we just want to get this Jinx as much gold and solo XP as possible. So, well, not solo at the moment, but they're going to see if they can get onto Zeus as he continues to push in.
20 CS.
Takes this play as well. Aphelios perfect guns to take towers. Once you have white gun, they need to find a kill or at least a flash onto Zeus. He's strong, but he really hasn't spent that much money. He is going to be forced to flash out to safety. BLG, can they keep the pressure up on the top side? Because already Guma's going to start hitting plates and tearing through that tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and they've got Rift Herald too, remember, from the last time around.
White.
So they can go with really, really deep. I'd love to see a
BLG
double turret charge here for
turret.
T1. The problem with BLG trying to trade sides here, Rift Herald kind of has to be answered.
And that's the thing, you've got red white here for Guma Yushi. They plunk down the Herald. It's nigh on impossible now for you to actually match this as BLG. So T1, even though we got that early kill, they're going to get a ton of gold back onto Guma Yushi.
Yeah, secondary charge is even more critical. Secondary towers here on both side lanes being buffed up to being 800 gold for your team. So much value if they can get the 2-for-1. The charge gets off. They see Bin though, and they're gonna back off.
No need to overcommit there, but you
That
see
audience
goes
though.
only 1,000 in the favor of Elk now. Shrunk significantly down to about 600.
The big thing though is that BLG actually do manage to trade both side turrets, right? Yes, you get the charge onto the tier 2, but you don't have a huge amount of pressure down there at the moment. So at least at the moment, BLG are answering turret for turrets.
Yeah, it is very greedy, but that's why I really like to see teams fully commit to trying to get that secondary turret. The rewards are huge. Here it is. That's what we're talking about. It's an ult shot for a zap shot.
That minion just betrayed him. It just walked out of the way. He said, nah, I'm good. Whoa, that's crushing.
The reverse creep block. It's like, bro, I tried to, but you're just in the way.
Wait, I want to see one more time.
Looks so good from Lameless Respite.
Push the minion down like there's nothing.
Keeping him there, or the passive rather.
When he walked down, he pushed the minion down.
Zeus had a massive advantage, but Shun looking to take him down.
Well.
Great job from BLG. Immediately the roam up, and again, look at what they're doing with this Jinx, constantly keeping her solo. But Bin is also solo, and there's a lot more T1 members around.
He got ulti.
Just waiting. Just looking for an angle to ult, trying to get away
The
from
blocking.
Maokai. Body block
Flash
coming in, though.
ulti.
I don't think there's a way out of this
What
one.
are
It'll
you
take a little
doing?
bit of time to tear through that health bar on the Scion. Bin
They
flashing and
keep
ulting,
blocking
the body
in
block
front,
coming out as
nah.
well. Owner gonna trade flash for Gonna
Ah.
try to eat the wave here as soon as he goes
Don't
zombie
take the-
mode just to stop any
take
further
the
pressure
wave,
from
don't care.
T1, but a clean pick on
Take
the bottom
the wave.
side.
They will manage to pick up the
No.
kill, but you can even see Yagao pushing in that top side. Elk getting pushed in the mid as well. So nice one for T1 to manage to get that kill.
Good death, good
Just have to see
death.
if they can try and push that forward and actually threaten
What
that
the
tier
fuck?
2 as Elk is in that mid lane. You even got the roam from Carey as well.
Bounce the
BLG
bubble.
really need to respond to this bot lane pressure.
Faker stepping forward, doing a good amount of damage. Zap coming back in. Gale Force forward from Elk.
Oh. Kaya ni
takes
talaga
those.
ulti na kumain la.
2-level disadvantage, but the Gale Force power spike significant enough that he can turn that one with On backing him up. And now BLG looking to get control on the bottom side of the river.
1 second left on Elk's ulti. Does he? It's a long time between the chunk and the recall. He's not going to go for it. Few seconds barring that one, so Faker gets it off. Faker gets his Eclipse.
Crucial to have. We check in 13 minutes into the game. 1,000 gold in favor of T1. A lot of that still on the cannon. see massive difference there on the top
Chill,
side.
chill,
Elk pulling
chill.
very far ahead of Guma. We've seen more often than not this meta all about engages
what?
and all about carries. Currently, Elk has the edge. See what Zeus can do versus Yagao on the bottom side in the 1v1, getting closer and closer. 35 seconds till the Ocean Drake. Stacking has been big in these longer games.
That stop onto Shun is huge, though. He wanted to reset and get his Kraken Slayer. Now going to be late to the party. You can see he's trying to reset. May even stop it again here. Shun hasn't been able to reset, whereas you look at the Radiant Virtue already there for Owner. This is going to give a ton of presence here for T1 in the river as Dragon's about to spawn.
T1 have the push. There's a ward in the mid lane. Elk just trying to lay down a little bit of poke. Yoink. Stealing away the Maokai ultimate is big.
Oh.
Owner can't deny that by trying to twisted advance forward as there's no target.
Yep, that control ward giving the vision there. Yagao is able to get it for the dragon fight. They know though. All right, now watch this, Kennen. Zeus does not have flash. He does have proto belt though. Fishing around, a lot of deep vision for T1 through the blue quadrant of the jungle. And BLG, they push the mid lane first, and they'll use that mid lane push on the minions to move into the river again. The classic 1-2 steps every team does to get access to the dragon.
Zeus has
They're
a
gonna give it.
Yagao gonna try to mark him and spot him out, but
Yeah.
being channeled
Gonna
top
give
side. Just gonna keep the pressure up, willing to concede this Drake. TV being matched now.
Oh,
Dragon
T1
will
keeps
go over the side
Dragon.
of
What the
BLG.
fuck?
A lot of members of T1 moving up towards
Is
the
this
top side.
T1?
Though. You can see Keria was thinking about going for something.
Oh!
Locked up under the tower, Ben trying to fire back.
Oh my
Just
god.
1v1s him.
Oh,
What?
what?
Let me see the beginning of that. Check the tapes.
I don't know what
Solo.
happened as that was there,
Solo.
but Finn absolutely bodying him underneath the tower. We need to recheck exactly what went down, but BLG now will actually have a bit of presence on the map now if they want to try and contest for this rift out. You can see that with the way T1 is set up kind of defensively across that line, might be a bit tough. Looks like they're just happy to trade it for the bot lane turret for Yagao instead.
And they can.
Putting that extra
They don't
pressure, and
care.
again,
They
we'll have
want
to take a
bot
look
lane.
back on what exactly went wrong there, but Sion definitely a champion you can't afford to overstep against, under tower at least, so the deficit not mattering here is Zeus maybe overconfident.
Wait, how did he
Oh,
die?
he walked into it.
Huh?
He pressed
Oh, why he walk in?
He walked.
Why he walk in?
Walked into it.
Oh my god.
That's a big oopsie in a very high-stake game. Ben seems unfazed and unsurprised.
And unlike Licorice, that one actually happened. I can't believe that was actually insane. The fact he managed to get that one, it was just nuts. T1, massive mistake.
No, he walked inside the-
Decent control again onto this top side. You can see they're starting to rotate his Elk around. They want to try and get that push and continue to get this goal into Elk. As long as he can stay
What
safe,
the
he's going
hell
to be in a
is
good spot.
he?
Jack Schoen now picked up for Bin as well. He's going to right a lot of that gold that Zeus had in the lead book.
I love it when we get the bin cams and he's just shaking. Even though he's down 40 CS here on the Sion, had the level 1 commitment for himself, still gets the solo kill.
Yeah, and I think even for Zeus, this is crushing because you were the one really strong point of the map. You've now been isolated and picked off twice. One, commendable play from BLG that time, just a mistake from Zeus. And in the beginning of the tournament, Kennen was not a priority for the LCK or the LPL, but for LEC, for LCS, we prioritized very highly, and it looked not very impactful. I thought that we'd see something different from Zeus, but it's really hard, it seems, to transition these Kennen advantages out of lane, especially against a team like BLG.
All right, well, he is level 11, does have flash. BLG, they're going to be marking him, though. You always want to send a mark over there, keep vision of him. Doggy, you mentioned the Lulu polymorphs and
Oh, he
there.
got it. What the fuck?
All right, I'm just saying that if there's an opportunity in Season 2 arc, you just replace the voice actor. You know what I'm saying? It's probably just Elk. In the
Elk,
Chinese
the
dub,
Zap
just, yeah,
Master.
there to go. Give him the opportunity to try out. Elk could be in trouble now, though. A lot of tools coming in. The snare is going to connect with Elk. He's immediately going to cleanse. Guma locked down briefly. Yagao with the stolen ultimate, so did not.
Gonna
get the
cleanse
point in the
that
morning.
lah.
Just in
Yeah.
exchange for the cleanse.
You like to cleanse,
It's not
man?
really like T1 lose anything though.
You always
There's no real
been cleansed,
presence on
man.
the top side. You can see Bin isn't able to push in too far. They're still going to be able to move down to the bot side to collect it. So the fact you've now burnt that cleanse is actually going to be massive for the Dragon in 2 minutes time. So really nice call there for T1, trying to prioritize burning some of these summoner spells off of Elk before these objectives come up.
Definitely an advantage. As long as they can force a fight, as long as they can find an angle. Yagao stepping up, looking to break open the tier 1 tower. Bin off to the side just to threaten a potential follow-up. Tower taken out. More gold into the back pocket of Elk as he gets closer and closer to that second item.
Nice force there from BLG. Topside push in, they rotate over, bully down this tower, and more money into the Jinx.
And you can feel the tension now because we're getting closer and closer. It's only 18 minutes in the game,
Jason.
but you know the big 5v5s are right around the corner. A lot of the lane advantages early on are going to start to fall away now as these towers fall, and it becomes more about grouping up 2v2s, 3v3s, and of course, fighting for the major objectives. 1 minute and 18 seconds. Now Cloud is on the table. Can't imagine either side going to rush to Baron too quickly here.
I think for T1, the big thing they need to do is try and get some sort of flank positions here for Zeus. If you can get like a ward that isn't swept out, or like we saw in the last game, right? They were very good at trying to get these deep wards. Get that position for Zeus. He has flash. Maybe you can make some magic happen where you get access towards Elk, especially with that cleanse being down. But I think it does just become so difficult with how the map is set up at the moment. Elk has mid-prio. Yagao back out into the map first, so he's pushing bot side. So it makes it quite hard for T1 to really get that presence on the map to start to get these deeper wards.
And the reason everyone has joined the ruler school of thought of this Jinx over the Aphelios is that range advantage. When you've got Jinx with the fish bones, with the lethal tempo stacked, especially once he's able to get his rapid fire cannon, and you've got a Kindred peeling, a Lulu peeling, this massive frontline peeling for you can be so hard to crack that team fight. And the massive gold advantage here, almost 1,500 for Elk.
Really they're stealing the Raptor second time.
Elk only about 600 gold away from being able to complete his Infinity Edge. Pickaxe and the completion cost. Staying in front of him. Herald going to be used in the mid lane. Expect the charge to get off. Not a lot of tools to deny this one. We'll see. They're cutting it down very quickly. And how many times are we going to see a Herald not be able to charge here in this best of 5? Well played by BLG to deny that.
What is happening?
There's just not much of a response here from T1. They're trying to see any sort of angle they can get on the map. If you could get that mid lane turned down, then you can get that vision that we were talking about. But BLG deny it well. Kindred coming across the match with the smite. And
they are the one with the Kindred.
T1 going to put pressure onto the tier 2.
They are the one with the Maokai. They are the one with the
They're
cannon.
not really going to get much
They are the
damage
one
onto
with the
this top
Nautilus.
tower.
What the fuck?
Only thing BLG really want to fish out here is a nice, easy spawn on a Kindred mark. We're still sitting on 3 marks for Shun. Getting fourth is that critical one for the extra range. Then their team fight just becomes so incredibly hard to deal with. T1, they're still hoping for that big fight where they can get Maokai ultimate plus Nautilus ultimate blocking down Elk to open up the space for Zeus to get inside.
This does become harder though. That window of opportunity that we talked about where they'd burnt Elk's cleanse is no longer available. Elk's about to get that up. Yagao just completed his Anya's Hourglass as well, so he'll be relatively safe. And as soon as Bin comes into these fights and just stands in the front, it's like, well, owner, how are you supposed to get access to this back line? It's becoming a little more difficult for T1 to operate, especially as soon as Elk completes this Infinity Edge.
Yeah, T1 have to be so careful right now. They just have to play off of saplings and Faker empowered Shock Blast for poke. If you're able to get enough saplings around these objectives, you have to play so trickly around your vision. Faker now, he just completed his Muramana. It is transformed, so they're hoping against hope that they can get some actual good poke down, but it's going to be hard to get around Bin.
And I think this is where we got to see the T1 Barons, right? I actually think it's your best bet is to try and start something at Baron, get a TP out of Yagao, because Yagao has been so consistently playing in these side lanes. And if you end up in that position where, okay, we can get a TP from BLG, well, then you have that opportunity to start playing the map. Maybe you can then have that numbers advantage that comes through in your favor, where you can start to push forward, start to always threaten that 4 versus 5, and BLG will be forced to back away. But it just seems so difficult at the moment with where BLG are positioned on the map.
Yeah, and with the items in inventory here, it is Infinity Edge completed now for Elk with that big gold advantage. So T1, till Guma can complete his, he's going back right now. They definitely don't want to mess with anything. And BLG, they're trying to take advantage of that window, get their vision completed around Baron.
Double 80 carries, I mean, the same play you talked about T1 making. BLG also have the option to make. They have a beaten frontliner, they can do a lot of damage. Still pretty early in the game, so a bit slower. And you can see that's the poke you highlighted on Forced to Recall here, maybe giving Keria an avenue to contest at least some of this early vision. But we're getting later and later in the game. The stakes are getting higher around these fights. As the 1v1 on the bottom side, Yagao stepping in. He does have his Anyas, but trading ult for ult is a very good deal for BLG.
Yeah, it's so worth for Silas.
Do we have died?
See what they can do now. Kennen is going to have to go back, heal up. Still has teleport, still has flash, but BLG again, sweeping through, clearing out that vision, clearing out those saplings.
But the thing is, you're starting to get shown, as you can see here, he's going to pick up another mark for himself. Not going to be up towards the 4. Is that his fortress?
Yep, that's
yeah,
4, baby.
Yeah.
That's the one we wanted.
Yeah.
That was that luck coming in. Ooh.
And that's where it's going to now be a little bit more difficult for BLG because Shun's in a good spot. Trying to contest the mid push isn't quite there. And yes, you do have Owner who is tanky, has gone for the random Omen. And I think that will help out quite a bit. You don't really want to get the LDR just yet as Elk. You've often seen that push back to 4 items. But also the fact that you had to go Gale Force here doesn't mean you can substitute a lot of your damage with that true damage. The Gale Force is there for safety, trying to get in towards the Lamb's respite when needed. And it's a little bit of a window there for T1.
Oh, but this is Elk, baby. I'm there. That Gale Force is there to be an orbital blast cannon going in for kills.
He goes in. That's what he does. And we'll have to see if Elk can find another angle or if he gets over-aggressive here, because right now it does feel like BLG are pretty firmly in control of the map. T1 are responding, but the second that Yagao is able to take Zeus' ult away, so much of the T1's angles of attack, their fangs are essentially just taken out of the equation.
And this is so much more patience than we usually see from BLG. They want to fight 9 times out of 10, and we're getting that like 1% where it doesn't really work out. They don't want to go for anything, and all they're trying to do is buy time for Elk. They know what side the bread is buttered, and as long as you can get out to the rapid fire, you get that black cleaver, which has just been completed for Shun as well. Now you've actually got opportunities to help shred that front line, get into a good spot, and make sure you can play for these team fights.
Yeah, Jason, I just now fight the Copolia.
And if he gets that first kill,
It's not
then
fight
he's an
Copolia.
orbital blast cannon on crack.
And then
Okay.
It's
There
okay
it
lah.
is. Kobe setting the stakes for the fight.
We've seen so much Jinx
It's
take
true.
over
Yeah.
MSI.
No, that day
Once you get the
I
tempo
fought,
stack,
and no, I
the
saw Ahmad
range,
fight
it
that boss.
becomes very
I thought that
impossible for
hand
Aphelios
thing that
alone
come
to
out
win
and
1v1 'cause
push
just being
everything.
out-maneuvered.
I thought that one was
Just
the
be
enemy.
glad Milio's not allowed.
Didn't-
no, that one is a support.
I'm happy every day that we don't have to see him there.
That is so
Can help you
great.
beat the
You don't
boss
even have to be
faster.
in orbit at that stage. It's just across
Yeah,
map.
whoop.
Cross
Wherever you
galaxy.
go. Why even
Gigantic
pick Parthas?
hand.
You have rapid fire Jinx. With the
Best way
million.
to use is when
No billion
she
this time around,
summon
though, still gonna
the
offer a
2
lot of
things,
support for Elk in the fight to come.
then that
BLG
thing can hit all of them.
on the cusp of Cloud Soul. T1 not as impactful
Oh.
as Ocean, but still can be hugely impactful. Need to be ready to fight this one. Yagao on the flank. Zeus fishing, has the ult up and available. Bin,
Zeus.
an immovable object on the front line here.
This is Soul. BLG just have to kill the minion wave, and then they can. Well, I guess they still have to check about a T1 Baron. T1.
They
are
cannot
that
go
team
in,
that will flip
no
the Baron
tank.
If you too heavily commit to the dragon, so they just send Shun.
Yeah, that's why Shun's going over, but Bin has been doing a really good job of matching carry, forcing him to hook away, and every time they do, Elk steps up. Now BLG just going
Inter also had the 2 main items.
T1 will start the Baron. Shun's a mile away.
This is a massive risk. Guma has terrible gun support fight. He has to work
They
for
don't want it lah.
as fast as humanly possible. Still a 45 carry on the flank, looking for the angle. Immediate disengage all coming out from the Maokai. Zeus looking for an angle into the backside. He's trying to burn through Elk, but Elk pre-flashing out to try to make it to safety onto the backside as well. The 80 carry still standing. Guma finally swapping guns, ready to keep the fight going. T1 already routed. Shun coming up clutch. Resets coming in, and here is the orbital cannon bombarding onto the front and back line of T1 as they will bully them out of the pit and look to take the worm for themselves. It's a triple for Shun.
That's gonna be it. BLG wipe T1 off
I
of
need
the
to see how
map.
Faker
T1 knew they were
Silas
backed into a
combo
corner here.
him
They're
down.
facing Soul plus Baron spawn at the same time. Their only hope was to try and start it. And
Yagao's not done!
Oh shit.
This man's supposed to be the worst mid laner left in the top 4, but he just keeps showing up. He took down Chovy. He's looking to take down Faker as well.
yeah, nobody expected to say this, but you gapped everybody.
I mean, look, 2 paces.
Sayonara.
Today. The fact that he's coming in and getting these kills onto Guma, you get the Annie in game 1 that looks great. He has a 68% career win rate on the side.
See.
Team Y.
Faker almost half
Manages
health.
to draw the space there for Elk, and as you rightly pointed out, Elk gets the cleanse, flashes away from Zeus, so he's able to stay alive, outpace them, and now Shun in the picture.
No, T1, this is not your job.
Oh no.
Come out, Bin with the follow.
Oh.
Going out to safety. No, it will not. He's healing. He's giving everything he can, but the mounting thread for T1 just continues to get worse and worse. Shun now pushing in, looking to take out Faker, looking to go for the 1v1. The Lamb's respite up and available. The pressure, BLG will not relent. BLG looking to break game 2.
BLG beat
Oh, now
T1
Kera
in the
is-
first game with their style.
he
They
no
set
mood
up
to
by the
play
man in
already.
Game number 2, and Shun bringing out his
wonder
pocket
he had it
kindred
before he-
to this
before the game
tournament
started.
has looked fantastic. And T1 are going down.
And just continuing the Gale Force under tower. He does not give a damn about
What?
Kennen or anything on this Rift. He has the win in his sights. BLG breaking down the first tower, breaking down the
They
second.
keep losing to
Guma versus
Jinx.
the world,
Why
but
don't
Guma
they
will not
pick
be
Jinx?
enough. In game 2, Yagao on the backside.
Oh,
taking
they
his
have
with
Zeri,
Baker.
never
They
mind.
can just end the land.
Yeah, you pick Jinx, they have Zeri.
Why is Guma
To
not
unresolve
playing
Nexus
Zeri
fall.
then?
It is BLG against all odds.
He likes Aphelios, ma. He likes Aphelios, ma.
BLG are dismantling Korea. That is what's happening. They take down Genji, and they are in the process
I can't even tell
of
what they did
taking
wrong.
down
Like, it was
T1.
pretty clean from BLG. So I don't know what T1 could have done.
Wow,
correctly.
indeed. Well along in the process.
Yeah.
Impressive performance, despite the positive start for
Yeah,
Zeus.
I don't know.
Despite the trades back and the over-aggression on the top side jungle.
They just
And
look
he-
pulled strong in that early game. They
And
don't
then
give up
T1
more, and they're able to
tilts
pull
very
ahead as we get
easily.
later and later, and a relatively bloodless game. A single fight really ultimately
It's
decides
like they
that
cannot
round.
even lose one game, you know. They lose one game, they tilt.
Completely different look here in game
They
two.
lose 2 games, it's basically 3-0.
Massive stuff here from BLG. Even
this boy,
showing
he's so happy.
that they too
Yeah.
can sacrifice top lane. They can play that Scion level 1 that everyone's playing. They can have Bin go down.
Hey, the
tons of
Chinese teams,
CS,
are they actually saying
and
let's
they
go?
still
Because
can
something when they-
rely on
Oh shit,
Shun.
Carrier.
Shun, who had that Kindred band.
Yeah.
One stretch was 15 games in a row. Able to pull it off. 8 kills in
This
the
is
end.
beyond
Legendary,
tilted.
fully stacked bounty.
Yeah,
asset.
when he at the start of the pick already, back check already.
Really playing much
Yeah,
on
his
Scion
face.
up until he got beat by 369 in finals. Like, right, I need to add this.
Lol,
I
look
need
at the
to make
code.
sure that I'm able to play this front line. And the ability
this
for
is
him to sit at
mental
that front stage,
gap.
forcing carry away, stopping any sort of engage coming through, and just opening up
Personally, I
fights for
think
Elf.
I think
Like, it was so
Caitlyn
well
counters
orchestrated by
Jinx.
BLG.
And as
If
much as I'd love to continue
if Jinx
to talk
versus
about that,
Aphelios is the range issue, then Caitlyn is also longer than Jinx, ma.
I have a feeling you're gonna need your energy going forward, and hopefully for a few more games. But I gotta say, in terms
I don't know why they stopped playing
in terms
Caitlyn. I
of
thought Caitlyn
that
was like the
feeling
top
that
pick.
whatever you throw at
I thought it was
BLG,
like
they'll
Caitlyn,
be able to
Aphelios,
counter it.
just last,
For us, it is really fun
just
to
the
watch
previous
BLG
meta.
get out of the situations that
And it's still
they should.
Caitlyn win
Play
because of the
game
range
differently, I think,
range
even in this
matchup.
game that they did the last one, but Chronicler,
Damn.
the frustration must be at an all-time high for T1.
The same problem for
It really
Aphelios
is, and I
when
think
fighting
that,
Jinx is the same as
watching the
Caitlyn.
game,
He's
you know,
outranged.
sharing looks, and the T1 that you're seeing here is could not be more different, right, from what you're seeing domestically. And I want to give all the credit to BLG, but this T1, I think it was the Fur Dragon. They got a couple of item spikes, right? They're in a position where they have an incredibly strong team fight with the cannon, with the Nautilus,
Yeah,
and they're
like
just
Jace
not
did nothing.
making any plays, right? You can just see kind of the BLG momentum overtaking them.
I think
And
Faker's like
as a
only good
result,
on Cassandra
none of the
right
team
now.
fights look good.
Yeah, that game felt
He can
a
beat
lot
Lissandra too,
different
actually.
than game one.
First game he plays Lissandra, ma.
I think game one he played, yeah.
Over one combined
I
kills per
want-
minute.
I think he
This was
picked
like 4 kills
Lissandra
to
again,
4
it
as
was
they were
fine.
stacking up a soul. Like
I
this
feel
was
like
very much
Game
I
1 was
think
just
T1
down to team fighting.
nowhere to go.
BLG team fight
So
better.
and BLG
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
have a win condition with Cloud Soul and a better scaling team comp. So they actually were able to play.
What the heck
If
is
if they plan on taking Jinx, then just ban Zeri first lah.
Yeah, so the massive thing here was
They
because
banned Zeri and then
started
pick
with
Jinx
that
up.
Scion swap, right? Which set Bin like super far behind. Yeah, in
Unless you
average,
tell me
without
that
any
Aphelios also
game,
wins their
Bin
Jinx,
about
then
470
I
gold up
cannot
in
say
his lane
anything
moments.
anymore.
Today he was down 1,152. But the big thing that you already pointed out is the Drake stacking, right? The ability for them to have such a large bot side control, funnel go into Elk, and stack Drakes.
And what is really
Okay.
big here
understand.
is that the
Kindred wants to
teleport
get
is already
ahead,
down
that's why they
here,
fought
right,
this.
for the Science. So take that in mind as we see the outcome of the skirmish.
But it's just like when T1 played it, the Kindred still died first.
Yagao doesn't have mana, and Bin flashes in, tries to salvage it, doesn't get to
You have to see what the Kindred does later.
T1 get smaller leads
Kindred is
domestically,
not
then
supposed to
take
team
that
fight.
lead
I
and
mean,
dive
you
and dive
see
and dive.
how
Play on
BLG
every
plays this
single
game,
Drake, play
it's
on
like,
every single
he's not in
objective.
front.
And the fact that they
He's
have
like-
an early game like
doing
that,
2v2s or
and then
3v3s, man.
get to do anything with it is really, really worrying if you're a T1 fan.
Absolutely, because in this situation you have T1 with the Kennen who's level 3 before Sion gets to lane.
Yep.
He's also
And then you see Zeus just walk into the Scion queue and then just lose his advantage.
And then they're never able to fight. What I think
This
has been
game
common,
on
though,
T1 keep
between
giving
both
Dragon,
games
I don't know why.
is
It's
a
like
very
it's totally
early game
opposite of
strategy
game
for
one. You know,
BLG
game
to
one
get
they
their
keep
bottom lane
trying to
ahead.
steal it.
Because
I
that
don't, why?
means
I
Carrier
don't know why.
gets
It's
taken
like,
out
are
of
they
the game
scared of Kindred or
because he
some
never has
shit?
cryo, he can
Like, what
never
the
move.
hell?
And Zeus, who is supposed
No,
to be able to either bail out
they're
bottom lane or
thinking they
carry himself,
cannot get a good position to flank the Jinx. You see, there's no flank wards, so it's like I just give.
Is
But
this
it's
really
like,
happening?
you
Is
feel really
Zeus
bad
really
when
falling
they
to this?
don't even
That's
try to
crazy.
team fight.
And
You
it comes
you
off
actually,
the back of him
it's like
being
the
one of the
first
best
game I
players
see
in the
this,
previous
like,
game on the
this
Gragas,
whole
right?
tournament
Wasn't,
where
and
they
didn't
like
end up being enough, but he
avoid
did such
a
a good
dragon
job
fight.
there. And it is something that Zeus has been struggling with, right? When we get to these extremely high pressure
I think it was
situations,
around like the
he's
second
playing one of his
dragon you saw,
conference
like,
champions, gets an early lead,
Faker or
and then
Zeus immediately TP top
I'm also
when
seeing a
the
little bit of a
dragon
trend that I
start.
might be like a good
When BLG start, I was
theorist
like,
or
what the
whatever.
fuck?
But yesterday we were watching the game and you remember you were like, oh, Yagao is not having the best game yet. On Ari, he's not getting those key charms, but then there was a follow-up which always killed Gen G. Here it was like, oh, oops, didn't work out for Sion. Oops, he's behind. Bin can't do anything, but it doesn't matter because they have the other plan. They have the Kindred, they have the Drake stacking, and they make it so that
Did
T1
not feel like
cannot do
Jace
anything
did
with
that
that
much
first,
damage.
with those first kills, rather.
Yeah, and they touched upon it on cast. I do want to shout out again Shun and his Kindred. They already talked about how it
most
is
of
a
them will
pocket
just
pick for
poke
him.
on
It is his
Sion.
5th most played champion career-wide. He has about a 65% win rate on it. So he is incredibly comfortable on this champion. But the thing I saw from him, once again, that's already been brought up by both Chronicler and Jat, is he was ganking early. Like, he was in his lanes early. This is not...
T1 should have saved that Sion strat for like later in the game. Later in the tournament. They showed it so early, everybody copied.
Yeah.
He was on the bot side of
And even T1 doesn't know how to counter, right?
Every second counts, and thanks to their
They're like, ah shit, this is so broken, how do we counter?
runs to the team fight in
mean the
time
level
and
1 or
secures
some
a
shit?
triple kill. This
Ah
is
yeah lah,
insane
the Sion strat.
time, Jack.
You could just kind of tell BLG was on the same page and T1 was not, even with the way the fight played out in the
You see,
first fight.
you see Zeus is like kinda
The rest of the team
hesitated.
can't make it through the Silas. Zeus can't even get on to the Jinx, who's able to just zoom away with the Zarya.
No, this is how you're supposed to use Kindred. There's like 2 separate fights. There was like a 2v2 on the bot
I
side.
appreciate the way BLG set this up too, right? Because they had
I mean,
all that early
2v3
game
and a
stacking.
3v2
They recognized
separately.
like this is Soul Point.
Kindred's not supposed to 5v5
against the Baron, and it is a much better setup than some of the not protecting
if
our
the Jinx was
Barons and
almost
Drakes
dying,
and
then he
others
could
coming
use
and
out.
stealing them. So
And it was pretty
they
safe
are
because it's
also
like,
capable
it's
of
only 2 and 3
protecting their
people
objectives.
fighting.
Hey, we showed this in Countdown. We're just gonna pull it up again, Maurits.
Yeah, I'm glad you single me out, Chucks. I'm not. I'm having a great time. I appreciate it, and it's true, right?
The fuck
I
is
think,
this?
as we saw at the top of the day,
Who wrote this?
that there were already some doubts regarding T1 will be BLG easy, but then that game number 1, I think, gave us the idea that this would at the very least be a series that was back and forth.
Yep.
And then after that
Against
game 2,
T1, there's no
maybe they're
series.
just 3-0.
They either win 3-0 or
like
lose
yesterday.
0-3.
So much going into that, and Jat, you started the day also by thinking of, okay, what is T1's perspective? Can they trick themselves into thinking that they are actually underdogs here?
Yeah.
Maybe it starts now, though, because now they certainly are.
I think they have an incredibly tall task ahead of them. And it's so crazy to think about. This T1 roster, these 5 players have been together a year and a half, never missed a final. They're one of the, like, this is gonna sound silly, they're one of the greatest teams ever, yet they have 0 international finals, which I think becomes a superstition and makes them play worse in these moments. They need to do it now. They have to win 3 games in a row against BLG to not make that
I was gonna say, what the heck is Shock's wearing?
The reverse sweep is necessary for T1 to kill those demons and to
fuck
get a
this.
chance to kill those finals demons. And BLG on match
You're wearing a
point,
doormat?
they could go into a full
Yep.
LPL final tomorrow. Incredible. Let's see if they can close it out after this.
Oh, this the coach he just combed just now.
Yeah, that
You see
you
that
can.
face?
Yeah, I see.
He's like, oh.
See, oh my god, this one is so hilarious. Oh my god.
At this point, I really think it's just T1's ego lah. They are stubborn. They just pick the same champions. They don't wanna
Why suddenly a Jace though? He hasn't played Jace the whole tournament. What the fuck?
At this point, I really think it's just T1's ego. You see, when they could have cleanly swept Genji 3-0, they just start to goof around.
Yeah.
And then they almost got mental gap by Genji. It's like they have a solo queue mentor, man.
I think the way they play is like they are playing for entertainment. It's like they want the cool play.
Yeah lah, exactly.
They want the Baron steal.
They want to play cool and then they don't want to play steady, you know? And that's why once they start losing, they're like, shit, how do we do this?
Man, oh man.
You see Carrier's already starting to cry. In that chair, it's like, ah, shit.
Stress already, man.
Do you see before game 1 started?
I actually did not. I was in
He was after the draft, right? You could see like Carrier disagreed with something. His head was on top of his hair like before the game start, like for like a good 2 minutes.
He keep shaking his head, ma. He's like
it's like
why,
no,
why
I don't want to play Lulu.
The chat was like shaking head emoji, everyone spamming it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 3-0.
Oh, Jason, the what?
I play until now only have 2 big bosses.
Yeah, you can only play them 3 times.
Yeah, can only play 3 times.
Then I mean it's like play one of them 2 times and then one of them 1 time. Like this.
Yeah, can do this.
Okay. I play both of them 1 time this afternoon.
Can only, as long you use up the 3 times.
I don't know which one to farm actually.
You know what good They don't like the Genshin got like schedule like today what material today what material they like every material.
They let you choose, is it?
Yeah,
they like every
choose. Yeah. They like every material is on the map. See where you want to go, which one you want to farm on it. There is no schedule.
All the Genshin player back check.
And then they'll be like, okay, we'll do these updates in the new game.
I feel like Fontaine they will update some of the things.
14.
Fontaine.
I think it's Dendro story. I think already almost done, right? Sumeru, I mean the Sumeru.
Sumeru should be done lah. They usually release around September new map. I mean new area lah. Do you remember?
Well, let's see how fast T1 loses.
Oops.
They can eat banana.
Banana to win.
Area needs active fast.
Oh,
Yeah. Any better?
And you don't active fast.
Welcome
boy.
back to MSI 2023. Ben calling his shots. But here we go.
Lol.
Guma responding.
3-1? No, 3-2.
3-2, 3-2.
Guma, you better tell your partner that. I don't know if your partner believes
I mean, as
that.
far down as you can go in this
Your
tournament.
partner's like, I
It
wanna
has to
go
be
home.
right now for T1. They've got to switch it up.
It's like,
here,
I'm done.
Both in draft and in
FF20.
play. The top lane replay
Wow,
of Zeus,
Guma's-
I'm still boggled
he's
at
so-
what went on there.
so
Gotta
chill,
keep
huh?
brain on. Let's go.
Yeah, but I'm curious as to see what we get as that adjustment in draft.
Wait,
right?
what
'Cause
the
it feels
fuck?
like when you look at T1, they're still getting a lot of what they
Bruh.
wanted. We talked about like the Rakan and the Zaya in game number 1. This has been a huge one for Guma, Yush, and Carrier, but they couldn't quite get it across the line. Even then coming into this next game, they
A
get
smart
the
thing
Maokai,
would just
which
ban-
can be such a good setup,
They need,
but
if they
still
want to
don't
win,
see
they need
that
to
one coming
win
to
3 in a
It was
row.
such a
Oh
good
my
side.
god.
Ben Zeri
And
pick
right now, you
Jinx.
know,
I feel
give
like
up
that's
the
a good
Maokai
blue side draft.
Because of a big, powerful ultimate, being able to pull back.
Carrier
the
is still
Silas.
tilted.
T1 aren't going to let it happen, though.
T1
Wait, what did they
uninterested in
ban
high-tier
instead of
junglers
Maokai?
making it through the draft. They'll triple ban that role. The Jinx.
Oh,
Ah, they
BLG
banned-
knows.
out
BLG
here.
knows.
BLG mixing it up. This is big.
Lol, look at they. They laugh.
Trading here in the final
Then
game.
Guma pick Zeri lor.
Remaining 80 carries, do you want to prioritize?
Ma. Oh,
They always
Kesante.
Okay, Faker's
my mind. There
Faker
it is, finally
Kasante is
slipping through
good.
the
And
bans.
it's the only pick that's been good
Instant
on.
lock here.
Oh.
Slam that Gwen down.
Who can
It's Zeri,
counter?
Lulu, come on, just take away Zeri.
And it can team fight.
And I
Just
love the
take away
Lulu as well.
Zeri.
You know
Desire,
that's either
actually.
Zaya, Rakan,
Don't
Zeri,
desire.
at least from what we've traditionally
Ah.
seen here. So
You got
if
desire.
you end up taking the Lulu,
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, boy.
Zeri away, so you're going to more than likely go back towards the Zaya account.
Yeah, they're all smiles over there.
No.
Last time I got to play Zeri with a Lulu.
He don't know how to play Zeri, man.
Lenses and Annie shields. And
Why do they always-
all over the place?
Oh my god.
They always give the two better ADCs to the Chinese teams.
Then he dropped down to
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Immediately the Zeri picked
It's
up.
the Powerpuff Girls, look at that.
Coming in very early in the draft still.
Blue, red, and green.
Very
It's just
confident.
Actually, who can counter
Won that match, comfortable with whatever else.
Gwen?
We'll see now what they want to ban away. If it's
Gragas.
top laners or if it's mid laners,
Gragas.
it's a better matchup.
I think it might be junglers.
Just now, they first game also Gragas. But they fight
Gragas.
If they play tanks into the Gwen, they're just gonna concede top lane completely.
Maybe Shun feels comfortable going back towards
feel
the
like
Adrian.
they
You
might
definitely
play
send the crest
Sion.
into even things like Owner going back towards the Nocturne.
Or they could play Yone and just play the skill
So
matchup.
much respect to the Faker, Kasante.
Carrier's already crying. Why is his face so red, Adi? The fuck?
Looked so insane with that in mid lane.
Oh man.
You see his entire face is red already before the game even started.
Talia making sure that they have the extra tools to protect Elk on the backside. The Talia pick that has been a bit hit or miss, but Yagao, the one
Bruh, you're supposed to be like the
drafts is an extra
second Hyung of the team.
as well as a roaming tool. Kennen hitting the bench. I wonder if another top laner will be picked up as well.
The other three are younger than you, bro.
Gragas,
God,
okay,
that's-
so
they-
really
He's the
respect
most
that.
easiest
Do they
person
wanna
to
ban
cry
the
in the team.
Nautilus or the Ari? Then I guess if you're still looking at
Man.
mid lane, because the setup power with that Nautilus would be quite.
Oh, now
big
they.
for Yagao
Just now you
as
say
well.
Gragas, now they ban.
Right? Because ultimately, if you
Talia
go for the
ban
Ari
is
here,
helping
it's so easy to
BLG.
immediately
Oh,
swap that
shit.
Kasante mid.
Sion?
Instead, they're
What?
gonna take the Sion away.
Sion?
And I think that's the big problem is that oftentimes you've seen because
What are they thinking? Wasn't Gwen already? Wasn't Gwen already? Oh, they're scared of mid Sion.
The value that you get from this Nautilus off the
What?
top of mid lane just starts to disappear. So I like the call from
What?
T1 saying, hey, look, if you just take it, Sante goes mid, but maybe they don't really care. As you can see, it was
Now
for a
they-
split second there, but looks like they're going to take
Um,
for Shun instead first.
Oh
BLG is
my.
Let's have fun.
Shun, obviously a big Nidalee player, but hasn't been the most successful pick.
Arceus would be nice here.
Kindred,
So
we
many
are
squishies.
Entirely low on CC on the side of BLG. So many great engage tools on the side of T1. BLG lacking really any hard CC or setup.
And it does mean that you're probably going to see Yagao go.
Wait, Lee Sin counters Kindred. You can just kick her out of the ulti.
Hey, yeah, where the Lee Sin, huh? So many, so long time already.
Bit of an unusual one. I'm not the biggest
Where's
fan
the
of what
Lee
they try to
Song
go
King?
for here, especially
Hey,
as the Kazakhs now
Got
open
enough
as
man,
well.
Lee Sin?
You do a
Why they don't
phenomenal
want-
setup for this Kazakhs try and get into the
I
base
thought Lee
and
Sin was like the
assassinate
poster
them.
child for
For honor.
for League of Legends junglers.
Have been taken away.
Okay.
A balanced teammate, like they don't need
my.
to ban.
Zeus feeling confident in the 1v1. He was pretty consistent going ahead early on, and there's the Jax. against
I would
the Jax
prefer
master
the-
himself, but the
The
Galio.
Yone
Oh,
okay.
Galio.
Kindred a lot of tools to stop people from getting onto your backline. Taunt is such an oppressive ability against so many divers.
This is getting
For
interesting.
Yagao across their regular split, 80% win rate in the regular split, and we even got to see it a little bit in playoffs. Like both the Vega and the Galio were his two standout picks in his pool, and we are going to get to see.
I mean, that's what
BLG going
that's what I predicted just now. It's like they have a lot of squishies. Maybe Kha'Zix is good, but then if you want a direct counter, Lee Sin would be also good.
So good in this setup meta now, where
game is on
everyone
owner.
underestimated him as a
Because
mid laner.
they are like
See what he can perform.
They both need to get leads early.
Always going to be super comfortable. Might just want to clear.
So let's see which jungler gets the better lead first. Let's see which jungler gets the first blood.
jungle diff.
Is the Galio.
This game is actually jungle diff. Let's see if Owner can carry out of this shit.
T1 definitely want to try and I'll jump in on top. He's right, a very short range composition, but the thing is a lot of
BLG.
setup here for BLGs, you don't really have the range to take full advantage of it. Yes, you got the double 80 carry, but it still feels like a huge amount of this.
The ones that just keep smiling is Guma and Faker. They're like, they just smile through the pain.
If you actually find T1 in a position,
On the pin.
Lot of counter
Wait, what?
engage there for BLG.
They can just
Kindred
U-turn
ultimate,
into the
Galio
booth?
ultimate, peeling back with Lulu.
Then why would they need to walk up and walk down? The fuck?
Very, very particular with their
Huh?
engages, and especially
What is that design?
on Carrier's shoulder
What?
here with the Rakan. Oftentimes it can be super hard to play that champion. in
Why-
teams that have so
Why
much
do the
counter
players need
engage.
to walk up the stairs and walk down the stairs
Mana ke tahu ni.
when the entrance is right there?
Maybe they also have stairs that you don't know ma.
No, you just walk straight into the monitors already, bro.
when I think of T1,
They need to like give them walk a bit ma.
this has been when they've had their standout moments. This has been where Faker has been able to pop off, step forward, and be that veteran on this T1 roster. Make sure that he is
You be that father.
T1 forward. And here against BLG once more.
He has to
it
be
feels
the
like it's gonna
father.
right on his shoulder. See if he can get control with this top side. Very scrappy, very
Oh, wait, he's
heavy
an uncle.
skirmish top side. And I expect to see a lot of that coming.
He's Guma Yushi's
T1
uncle.
look for these invades, see if they can get on towards Shun and support Owner in his endeavor to shut down this Kindred.
And the odds just continue
Wait, hold
to
up.
stack
Doesn't that
against
mean
them.
his
Been
innovations uncle?
12-1 on this Gwen on the international stage. 3 of those wins were versus T1 at MSI Finals.
I have no idea.
Last year. Whatever
I just know
happened,
people
Gwen
keep saying
takes
Faker
big
is
out of
his
the
uncle.
equation. They have to shut BLG down.
Top lane carry matchups here. Zeus versus Bin.
Man.
This is what a lot of people love to see. Can Zeus bounce back after his mishap in the previous game? Raptors start for Shun on the Kindred. Will be able to get his red buff very early on.
Oh, they
Yep,
swap.
Yagao goes top. They want this Gwen into Cassante. They want the Gwen into Cassante so much more.
It does mean that you don't get full value from Yagao's ultimate though when he does hit 6.
I still feel like
They
Zeus
do
would
swap
win
back a little bit to
Galio.
Make sure that you're going to be safe, but in general, Galio should be relatively safe up in this top side and going to be able to get away from some of this. But
Already action on the bottom side. Knight coming out.
Well, they
early.
both
Carrier
focusing
trying to
different
give it extra
people, what?
advantage. Ghost now being popped by Elka, trying to poke back, hoping to get at
Oh.
least a summoner back for Guma, but Guma standing strong.
Nice little zigzag there. Pops the ghost for the move speed for the jukes.
BLG do end up winning out though. Both summoner spells
swap the
burned on
character on the
support
bottom.
and 80 carry. And you can
Bottom
also see just the health trade as well. So BLG still managing to get decent push and not a huge amount wasted as Yagao.
Oh, stop.
This is what they're going to say. A lot of it is going to be a case of you being able to dismantle a lot of Zeus trying to go in. As you
How
can
is
try and
Zeus
walk
3
away,
CS?
just
Isn't
look
he
like you're looking at a
supposed
dive.
What?
Being able to tank so much of that with that W. And Bane at the moment getting
Because he's been harassing.
This Cassante.
Spotted down now by Shun.
He's not last hit.
Pop in. Leap over the wall to take ownership.
Ah shit, it's a jungle diff already.
Has the reset. He's just going to contest here on the bottom
They
side.
cannot fight, man. I
Actually
feel like
setting up
it's
for a
even,
bottom lane
though.
dive. They've already got the Ignite and the Ghost out of Guma. Still both flashes
It's,
up and available.
it's
However,
even, but
Shun's
he
on the hunt here. Owner not
bought
gonna
his
spot him out there.
first strike. He doesn't have the
I like
extra
pressure
damage
here,
anymore.
Forcing Owner to come shadow.
Shun over the wall. Just slowing down a bit of damage, making sure the jungler cannot help.
Jungle diff.
Jungle diff.
Guma,
Oh, it's the
Pressure
Oh,
it's the same.
shit.
It's the same thing from last.
Oh no.
Isolate and shut
Guma.
down.
It's the same thing from last game
3 minutes into
again.
the game. High stakes potential dive situation here. T1 desperately trying to clear the wave. Kha'Zix on the backside. Ready to mark them. Snare
Oh,
already
okay,
coming through.
nice
Won't have
route.
that cooldown for the next few seconds. But they've cleared enough of the wave.
Got
that
heal a
BLG
bit
cannot
lah.
pull the trigger on the dive.
And this pressure is so good for BLG, just mirroring jungles and waiting for.
Oh, and the mark is bot side, bro.
Scuttle Crab with the mark as well for Shun.
In the mid lane.
In addition to denying those minions on bottom side, with
Yo.
Zaya already again falling behind.
It's like I'm coming
Owner's
back.
reset though, and Shun knows that he's moving back down. Bin onto Faker in the mid, but bot
that
lane,
Gwen
the
is
repeat
immune,
dive is
baby.
around.
Continuing to outtrade in the mid lane. Guma now going to be in trouble. Carry has to do everything he can to protect his AD carry, but it might not be enough. Guma taking out the dive clean this time. They won't fumble it again. Elk going to walk away, blinking, but still standing.
Really good stuff there by On Lulu. Hits him with the polymorph. Tanks tower, flashes out,
Well,
secures
it's jungle
the
day.
kill for the team. Gives it to the Kindred.
Mid
I
also
honestly like
so
that
sad.
more than giving it.
Oh, full stack. Oh,
He wants
shit.
to burst Faker.
Owner now
Not
coming
bust
in.
that.
Maybe can punish Finn
Q flash?
so aggressively in the mid
No
lane.
Q flash.
Finn's got flash too.
Finn just a quick dash out of safety, a bit of poke to even up the lane matchup, but right now everything going in the favor of BLG. 800 gold in their favor at this stage of the game already.
But
Damn.
the thing is, Owner hasn't got to clear his top side at all this entire
Oh,
game.
they
It's
counter
been
like this, huh?
because of Shun. So much of that focus has been on that bottom side of the map that we're not seeing a huge amount of CS picked up, and for Owner, that's going to end up setting him behind. Because
Meanwhile, Galileo is just bing chilling.
where he's in the lead. Look, Kindred is the same. You want this AD carry to be pumping out
He
damage.
cannot last hit that much, but he's like, he's full health.
He gets value from the kill he's managed to pick up, but Owner's been trying to
It's just like
keep
Sion,
T1
don't need-
in check,
or don't need
and as a
farmer.
result, it's starting to fall behind the rest.
They just need level 6 and then protect the 2 ADCs.
There. Pickaxe right back out onto the map. He gets to move that advantage around.
Knock up there though. Clean immediate fall off the snare. Now going
Okay, nice.
Guma and Carry fighting back, finding
Okay,
control on the
nice.
bottom side. A clean pick off.
That is much needed for T1. Big stuff there. Gold going into
Yeah.
helping him catch right back up.
Crucial that they're able to find those avenues, especially with how difficult mid lane was going early on in the game. Faker now feeling a bit more comfortable. Wandering out of lane as he has a brief moment where the wave is pushed in, can clear out some of this vision, take a bit more control on the top side. We check in, of course, the Galio.
Oh, it's level 6 on the ward, lol.
have an all-in threat here. Is just set up there.
You
to
mean
and they can actually
Faker?
enable Yagao
Faker
to
got level 6 on the ward.
Oh,
contested as he starts to
EXP
break.
now.
They
What
should
can
be
give
able to pick up this
EXP?
objective. We do have the support recalls though, so Carry is back.
What
on the
always
map,
can
gonna come
give
over,
EXP,
pop
it's just a
Briar's
very
Bloom.
small one.
Very
Window
small
for
amount.
T1. Nice punishment on. They know he didn't have flash. Owner
Jump in,
sitting
flash
another
out.
steal. Blast
No.
on in, jump out.
Jump in, flash out.
Definitely to take this one away.
Oh!
Hey!
Easy.
Damn, that feels so good as a jungler.
It'd be
In
like,
his head, you
yeet.
are mine. Another smite steal for Owner.
I mean, at what point do we take the title away from Dane?
The first game also like this, you know. Oh my
Finds yet
god.
another objective steal in this game. Faker now moving up to the top lane. Ulti available as well. Yagao has to be careful to survive here.
Low.
Baker should tank, he's full.
They cannot
Oh
no
shit,
minion.
never.
No minion.
Big AoE auto.
Low.
Yeah, as you said, he went after shock brome plating. Yagao's just looking
One
to
plate.
hold up there, but bottom side on again.
Oh, he still
Oh.
got the
Not able to
Lulu.
do
Okay.
anything here on the bottom side. Guma finds
Nice.
another kill.
This is huge for T1.
Gang down bottom
Guma and
lah,
Carry
walao
are
eh.
back into this bottom side now with 2 kills on towards the Zaya is absolutely massive, and so much of that stemming from the fact they didn't have to invest time into taking the dragon. They steal it away. Now they get pressure top, they get pressure on bot, and T1 are fighting back.
They're so good at identifying.
It's like-
The only
600
opening on the
12
map for them. Here it is. In
Wow.
613, right as
Bye
that hit the
bye.
damage. Able to get it, but they're so good at identifying the only opening there. On, he just pulled off a
He'd be
tower
like,
dive on
"Thank
us and
you."
flashed
That's why
out.
I
Okay,
always
we're gonna
hit
punish
the
him
damn
for it.
blast
Over
combo.
and over. Carry a lock up, blade caller from Guma. Owner even goes down there, and that's back-to-back plays.
But it's Kha'Zix, he'll still just jump in
It's
anyway.
also the fact that Carry is
But
coming
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of
Force him
vision
to
every
use
time he's
flash.
going on to him. He can't get polymorphed as he's coming through because he's just moving too quickly, so On isn't getting that opportunity to try and disengage. So really good stuff from T1's bottom lane.
Hey yo, that
Setting
CS gap
themselves
though.
up now for the first time really having
It's
well,
20
the
CS
advantage,
gap.
but still a good bit of that CS lead is going across towards Elk.
And he doesn't have Carl.
Certainly is. Something to keep track of as we get later in the game. These first
Oh,
spikes.
Zaya.
Herald now spawned and available. See which side wants to force for it. You see Ping is coming down onto it.
When Zaya finishes, she basically gets a kill.
The Zaya Rakan, we were
250 gold.
a duo that you cannot give them. BLG managed to beat it in game 1, but game 2 off to an incredibly good start for the T1 bottom lane.
Now
Oh,
we're
it's an
seeing
AP
BLG
Galio.
try and use this for the Rift Tower. A lot of their combo relying on the fact that Yagao is now hit level 6. Bin has control over that mid lane as well. And even Elk and On, you can see starting to get pushed in the spot side. Will actually spot out Carrier. Faker isn't in a position to really follow up here.
up.
What?
Flashed out.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I like this fight because as long as BLG
But now
keep
they
the
take
bottom
the
line
Lulu
going, there's
punya
an
flash
advantage
again.
for them on the top side. Yagao trying to push out.
Baker's getting shredded.
Is he ready to go back in? Shun now trying to make it out over the wall, trying to get in and grab the eye of the Herald. Now immediately going to throw down the Lamb's Rest.
Oh.
But the Galio coming in. Zeus has a brief moment to try to make it out of this one.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It's massive. They find 3. Faker isolates
Oh,
Ben in the
shit.
follow-up. Faker going all out on the top side. He will look to take down
Baker shouldn't do that.
Back and from over the wall.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
That's the kill.
Nice.
Here is Elk. Elk looking to reset. Elk looking to find the
Oh.
fight, but there is no fight left for BLG. Elk though, continuing to defy expectations, leaping out over the wall. Carrier ready to follow. Carrier ready to respond. The red buff, will it be enough? Belk.
Yo.
Taken down as
Okay.
Carrier takes the
Oh
kill.
my god.
Game 3, T1 are coming alive. They find the fight.
But if that Zeri is a bit too fair, they cannot do this.
BLG,
That kiting was still insane.
They see the engage on the Faker, but Shun
Oh,
under
what?
so much pressure from Zeus, they all try to fall
That's a
back.
600
The problem
smite
is
and then 4
they
HP.
missed everything while this last
Zeus
match
could
was
have
still-
just
Zeus doesn't go down.
pressed it.
Incredible flash forward there to stun all 3.
I feel like Faker doing that is not good. I don't know.
Stun.
Elk does manage to come in and get himself a double kill.
I'm not sure if that
Rotate
ulti is good on
The
Faker.
Faker hit the knockup again, like what?
Yeah, you can see the split second in the shot calling change on the side of BLG. Carrier here
Yeet.
does get a little
Yeet.
bit of chunk damage onto Shun.
Oh,
Oh,
he's trapped.
Needs to make his way out as quickly as
He has to
can.
flash.
Q over the wall on waiting.
Oh,
They will not opt to
never
follow.
mind,
A
lah.
lot of damage down onto that Kindred. The gold neck and neck. 300 advantage to T1, but the Herald to the side of BLG.
But we saw that moment when the shot calling changed. Shun was like, you know what? Herald, boom, I got it. I'm going to leave now, not stick around for that eyeball. But then they made the call. Our bottom lane is leading on the rotation up. Delay, delay. We can actually fight this slowly. And it's the tenacious chase from T1 that collects the extra kills. And as you said, the overlap there of the Galio on the Kindred ult, while Zeus was still protected.
The problem is it's fixed a lot of the problems for T1 on this top side, though. You can see there, T1 trying to leverage the
Next
fact that they have
thing.
push in the spot side. to
Owner
help
has
constantly invade
Ben's favorite
Make
item.
sure that he's very uncomfortable and it's opened up
Not
Owner
anymore,
to
man.
finally play this 1v1 matchup a little bit more aggressive. Shun will just be
Got
slowing
enough,
down
man?
a little bit,
Enough what?
but I am curious
Not
to see how he
anymore.
decides to use this
Enough
Herald,
a long
because
time ago,
with the
what?
presence that
Indeed,
T1 now have on this bottom side as
I
well,
don't know, man.
it becomes
Very
very
less
difficult
use,
for him
man.
if he ever runs into Owner.
Tricky game
And
now.
you play
T1, so many
against the
tools to
pop-
start the fights off. We've seen Carrier so consistent on
He
the
only
top
nerf
line.
for ranged champions lah. That's why you see he play it on Kha'Zix.
Protecting BLG, protecting Elk, make sure the dive can't come through, but a second Dragon over to T1. So early in the game, they are set up to stack very cleanly to a soul.
Herald dropped mid in the response as well. Faker's there. They should be able to
Okay.
upgrade up to a charge at least though, and at least get the expected value here. It's aggroed on minions currently. Okay.
Trying to get in, hit the eye.
Oh,
Owner
well.
now coming in.
Meow.
Charge will connect. Crucial for BLG. Would have been devastating to not have that extra influx of gold.
You can see they even brought Yagao down. They really wanted to make sure that they were able to get that play happen. Yagao will be able to move back up towards his top
Okay.
side though, make sure he's okay. As Elk pushing in the spot side again. Just BLG trying to see if they can scramble for anything they can pick up on the map right now.
Guma has been gapped by
Leverage the value of the Vampiric Scepter there in the trade. You can see him
E-
getting aggressive. willing
every
to
ADC, it
follow the
seems.
ball. But on the top side of the map, Galio's life is about to get a lot more miserable. Zeus finally completing the Divine Sunder.
He's better in team fighting, but in laning phase he doesn't play that well.
Elk is nursing that small
More like the
lead in
laning
bottom
phase,
side
but they
on
are
the Zeri
jungle,
again.
not his gang
BLG
better.
Gonna try and leverage as much possible juice into him as possible.
I mean, the
for
enemy
MVP.
jungler does that bot lane dive bullshit
A
every
huge
time.
amount of that is going to rely on people like Yagao and Shun.
It'd be like, thank you T1, we'll be taking your strat.
First combo didn't work
Yes,
out
for
so
some
hot
reason,
them in
Owner
the red
doesn't do it
Arrow,
as
so
much
I want to see kind of a slower approach to it where you are on the same page. If you can get it done, it does make it very hard for people like.
It's not Owner, it's Zeus.
Value, but if Faker is able to drag you out of these ultimates,
Unless you
Faker
tell me
is in one
Faker Sion.
spot, that's where T1 can really thrive. In the fact that Guma, you should play so far forward with this Featherstorm as well. You have to be so careful as BLG about how you approach these fights.
Yeah, the timing they're going for is difficult. To get Galio ult to come down just after the Kindred ult explodes so that you can make use of the knockup and actually get DPS down there instead of being nullified by your own invulnerability ultimate is a hard timing to hit. But they gotta work on that.
Yep. Adapting the execution on the fly is going to be big for BLG. Again, they have the luxury of a 2-0 lead. They can afford to lose a game, but would love to close it out cleanly here. A very aggressive draft. A lot about the counterpunch. Zeus and Yagao trade back on the top side. Just casual 100 healing.
The AP shield actually
And I think that's
Helps
where you're
against
going to have
the
to see
new
this
Jets.
matchup probably change the top side. I know it's not great for the Gwen either, in like a lot of situations, especially with the Divine Thunder already completed.
Oh god, they're doing the same thing again. Little tempo with Divine Thunder.
Also the fact again, I mean, Zay's just free farming up here this whole time.
Oh,
That should kill. Okay.
Finding the kill in the mid lane.
Big stuff for
No, no,
T1. They
there's
get
not
some more
enough.
money on him. He's got
That's
that lethality spike. The cheap
Red
overlay
buff?
plus
Red buff?
serrated
Red buff.
Dirk here.
Aya.
And that damage is
Oh, shit,
here comes that boy.
on in to say hello to
Ooh.
Faker and pick up the minion wave
Oh my
as
god.
they exit.
More resources in the back pocket of Elk, certainly, but good that they're able to slow down Bin, who was dominating at least in the 1v1 trades.
It's still the ADC playing more balls, man.
Once you get a death cap, once you get 2 or 3 items on this Gwen, she can be a
It's like they keep running away from ADC.
across the map.
Bruh.
You can see here, gold differences only in the bot lane and a tiny one in the jungle for the side of BLG.
Yeah, and the big leverage there for Zeus when he was able to slingshot ahead was that Rift Herald fight where T1 tracked down those kills. Now we get the rotation, put him inside lane.
Ah.
Keep on bottom side, rotate AD carries mid to push out the waves. And again, second Rift Herald is up and available. So rotating your vision over here.
There's not really much here that BLG can really respond with, though. As you say, like T1 have just so much control over the map. You're waiting for that mounted dragon that's in a minute and a half, and when you're able to have Zeus continue,
Look at Owner clearing everything.
He's going to have amazing control. Should be able to get a good amount of control over the river as well.
Oh.
Even when you look at Guma Yushi as well, the wave clear that he has, you're just constantly getting mid and bot prio to move into river, and it makes it so hard for BLG to do anything, which is why we see Shun trying to move
They
down
can
towards
start
bot
the
side,
Herald, they
play,
know she's
as the
there.
Rift Herald is being taken.
Yeah, they know, so they're trying to trade away, cross-map play here, but scouted out by the ward. Means it might be a little bit of extra resources here. Keria comes down to Shadow, so that there's not too much extra pressure on Zeus at that tower. Mirroring the support roam here from On, setting up that vision preemptively
Hit that
for
blast
the
call, man.
arrival of our Mountain Drake.
Good that Carry is there to cover to stop any potential dives here. BLG trading a guaranteed Herald for a potential play on the bottom side as they were a bit behind on the take, and now
They come to pick up the Raptor again.
If they can start to break open mid, the game gets a lot easier.
Good little mark pull here for Shun, is at 2 now, as we get our resets for the Dragon. Trying to retake now for
Oh,
Owner.
you didn't see. Oh,
so
bruh,
difficult.
what?
They know their red quadrant of the jungle has to be littered with wards because they just saw the big power move from BLG setting up for this Dragon. And so now they're cautiously retaking this area to give them some sort of footing with which to start.
Owner's level 11.
Again, though, I think you're relatively okay to do this as T1. BLG don't have the best go buttons. It's like an Everfrost or a knockup from Yagao. As you can see, I mean, Keria,
Wow.
in the midst of everyone on BLG, is just able to dash away. So
Now they
it's where
all
BLG
here.
need to be the ones that control the space, and already they
Oh, they want the
Doing
dragon.
just that. They're going to sacrifice their mid wave, and T1's going to pop the Herald to
Yes.
make them really pay for this.
Yagao just burned Taunt, a brief window of
Owner.
opportunity. Zeus on the backside as well. Owner ready to steal yet another objective.
They're turning it on to Zeus.
Coming through as BLG just tried to chase
Wait,
Zeus
the-
out of the pit. 5K getting lower. Now they're focusing it down. Are they just going to 50-50 at BLG? It's so difficult for them to force any kind of meaningful fight.
First strike is still up
Guma
for
walked away. They
Owner.
got the CC to lock down a priority target.
Yagao and Zeus doing the same thing.
Being shepherded around and now just getting knocked out of the pit immediately. T1 are going to look to blow it
Whoa,
down.
what?
BLG need to force the fight. Faker in the back line is doing so much work. The pullback coming through. Faker makes it out.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
The Dragon to the side of T1.
Okay.
T1 coming alive in game 3.
Okay.
Get the Zeri,
Get the
man.
Zeri.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
Owner finally gonna finish
Oh,
the job. It's
yeah.
a massive fight.
They're
for
hitting
T1.
the damn Galio when Zeri is right there.
Get the kills afterwards.
Oh my god, that's why Zeri gets a couple more kills, man.
Faker running full circle around this fight with Casante's
Just
mobility.
now-
We've seen it so many times.
Oh, just now
Not-
Faker pull out the Kindred.
Go out the
first,
jungler, okay, but then it's like, ah shit, he's going into Zeri.
Kazante, it all works out well, but brilliant stuff from T1. And I think this is where you really exemplify the problems with BLG's composition, where T1 are able
At
to
least
operate
Faker's
out,
one
take it
pick
all
is
about it.
good.
There's nothing that BLG are able to do in the end.
Everything
As soon as
else
they
is
try
like,
to go onto anyone,
meh.
T1 just have that mobility. I kick it away.
I'm not saying he's playing bad on other champions, like it's just that
Absolutely.
he cannot,
Close enough.
he cannot like,
Here he goes in.
And then the Jack
not his-
also like
Looks like he's
poking the Jerry just now.
Oh, he actually juked everything from Galio.
That re-engage. The Galio ult was already channeling, so then Yagao goes in. But guess what? His teammate's already gone.
Flash.
The Dragon's already gone.
And then the
so
Jacks
it's an
get
over-
the...
And then you see this.
timing on another Galio ult.
The Jacks.
Are feasting.
It's also just such a spread out.
Got lah.
You don't
Oh,
get BLG
they got
in a position where they're really
taunted
getting,
though.
You know, Yagao at the front line, trying to provide that tank, trying to buy space, because he's looking for the flank in that position. And T1 jump a pins there.
nice.
T1 finding a
Oh.
pick on the side lane. Carry looks like setting that up. Hard to say without the context. Had to watch Lulu die a bit horrifically there.
3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 4, 4, 1, 3.
Not on
Okay.
even footing, not at a slight deficit, at a massive deficit. 3 dragons stacked against them. T1 backs against the wall, the most pressure that could possibly be on them, but they are showing up here in game 3.
And it feels like such a weird time for BLG to change the game plan, right? When you look towards, hey, look, this Casante ban has worked out absolutely fantastic for us. Faker has been insane on this pick, and you're starting to see it again in this game. When you have 2 games in your advantage, to suddenly start to swap it up and change it to what has been such a difficult game plan to operate. You can see BLG now struggling, and T1
Oh, they kill? Oh.
to just find those moments. Zeus hopping forward on towards the ward, Kerry in a great position to follow up, and the is going to
Those needles do no
This is that other
damage.
side of Bin that people are used to seeing throughout the long
Yeah, he only have one item. The
Bro, you see the item, buy.
The Giga Bin.
3 armor boots versus 3 merc
Now with
traps.
full control, 3 dragons, Dragon Soul coming
What the
imminently. Baron already arrived at the pit. And they're trying to really
Everybody
take control
buy
of the
armor
pit
boots,
from
everybody
Baron
buy
with
merc
the wave,
traps.
Clearing everything out. They've got the recon, they've got the turn ability. And Faker, last time around,
And it's all in the same row, it looks very nice.
Makes a lot of sense. Limiting the Kindred, taking her out of the equation, denying the potential for a 50-50. T1 so many tools to guarantee a secure on this Baron.
Oh, who's trapping who? Oh shit.
no.
We've highlighted, Dagger, this is what you've highlighted. They can just walk away, and BLG have no way to stop them from doing it.
Yeah, and BLG
I
are
don't
trying
think
their
they
best,
know
but as long as T1
Faker
are the
is
ones that are
based.
base these fights, it's so difficult for BLG to really do anything. Kerry now, as you can see, stepping up. He knows there's not a huge amount they can do. He's got the safety of Guma usually behind him. So
Look at owner 81, 82.
He love what man?
I do not see a way that BLG actually managed to come back from this. T1 have
They
such
And then
see
all the
Faker only.
and then all the EXP from the
Oh,
what?
stupid bitch. Oh, wait.
No.
Oh, Zeus is the real bait.
Oh,
God, that.
Cassandre.
Zeri's in front. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Faker.
No, oh my god.
Oh, what the fuck is that damage?
Hey, he deals so much damage, oh what
Yo,
the
what
fuck?
was that damage?
Stalling and
What
delaying
the hell?
the 1-for-1 on Faker this time. He can't get out alive.
He
Yagao goes down,
1v4
Faker goes
behind and then
Banners
they
off the board,
their
but
health is like
T1
what the
still
fuck?
get vision control.
And they still
Faker
get
should have
into this top
flashed
side where
ulti.
they start to put pressure onto the tier 2, and this is where again BLG, they're trying so desperately to get this combo between the Kindred and the Galio to work, but T1 are
It's
playing
14
this
to
fight so
6, but
slowly,
why does
never
it feel so
overcommitting,
close?
just throwing in 1 or 2 members at a time and getting the Galio low, getting Shun low.
The Zeus
Panic,
engage was
have to
almost
know this combo
beautiful.
early and
Oh.
Yeah.
work out.
And Yagao gets the Justice Punch in the air on Zeus. They then try and defend on Kindred ult. They get
Ah.
Faker jumps in. He
Oh,
ults
shit, that was
while
not a
Yagao
good
creates
angle.
this
Oh, see, look
big
at the
zone,
damage,
this
you see?
big space
Boom.
on BLG. And then they sacrifice 1-for-1. Nobody can cross the Galio ult. They take the Galio in exchange.
And ultimately 1-for-1, but
He
again,
has to smile through the pain.
strong control of this. Mountain Drake spawning now. This is the soul. And BLG are just going to concede it. They don't have the tempo, they don't have the vision. They've got no tools left in the box to contest this one, so it'll just be a free soul.
Oh wait, he's
2 minutes
playing
in.
Jack
Mountain
Shoka
Soul for
something.
T1, they can just immediately turn to the Baron.
Yeah?
BLG
I
have a
saw
very
the top
small
laners
path
play the
right to
Frozen
play this game.
Fist
They need to
Cassante
delay for
though.
a long period to be able to catch back up. But T1 are so good at pushing tempo, they're going to rotate right over to Baron. They've got the
Frozen
Uncle
Fist
Blade, they
is
clear out the
against
vision,
full
they
armor.
keep looking for
Not by
picks.
that.
Carry a
It's game.
ultimate is available, carry a flash
I
is
guess
available.
there's 2
So if they
ADCs.
just starve you of vision, they start the Baron, they look for the turns.
Eyes on the prize for T1.
Do they have-
Don't need to risk anything, don't need to overforce
No,
it.
they don't have
And the
Baron
distance is really
speed,
the
I
only
don't
big
think.
threat that BLG have if T1 overcommit, so
Oh wait, they have Soul
Playing
already.
it controlled, starting this objective up. Guma and Faker looking to take this one down.
You're on the ward.
Over the wall with the smite to secure. Zeus
Zeus.
covering, not quite in fog of war. As the
You're on the
vision there
wall.
for BLG to see exactly what he's up to.
Ah shit, they're going for Zeus, they're going for
Slow
Zeus.
down The Lamb's Respite to slow this one. Owner going over the wall.
Oh.
Now the fight kicking off. But Carry
Elk
already
is
ready to engage.
bot
Are
side.
getting lower and lower. Lamb's Respite again getting a moment. Elk over the wall, but he's not really able to hit any priority targets. And Guma setting up the feather.
Elk
Choke.
is
There's no
free
angle
hitting.
here for BLG
There's
to
no
fight.
damage.
Forced
Okay.
away. Blinking health bars. It's the Baron for T1.
No ultimate on Yagao.
Zeus is, I assume is very low.
Find that window
Shin.
of opportunity, jump onto
Shin,
BLG,
Shin.
and now the Baron is there.
Oh,
as
Bin?
BLG trying to see if
What?
he can remount an offense though.
Baker can just
Oh no.
Faker has to out the.
BLG know it's all or nothing.
Yep,
It's
he's
now or
doing
never,
he's
but the
doing it.
jungler taken out of the equation,
Oh.
should barely able to escape,
Oh.
but Faker secures
Oh.
the Baron for
Oh,
his
what?
team.
Carry
on. What?
Bin now moving
Just
in,
go.
taking out Faker, but BLG, there is no fight left. It is the Baron, it is the soul for the side of T1, only at the cost of Faker's life.
Noble sacrifice.
Imagine if they
there
lose
from
just because they give
T1
away Elder.
mid laner. Baker keeps the smite steal away, even though Owner has been so good, they don't risk it. They
What?
Side.
Oh, Elk is right on top. The fuck?
He can't leap in.
Oh,
Aggressive,
man,
but
he
Owner's
cannot
here as
jump.
well. Kuma behind them. They're trying to shepherd BLG in, but they have
Wait,
to
what are
be
they
careful.
doing?
Yagao, Gwen now immune, Feathers now flying, Shun looking to follow up. Gumishi can just pull them back. He's got so much zone control, but it's an aggressive, aggressive TP. They do not want to give BLG the chance to back and reset. Ultimately, maybe a bit too aggressive, but it doesn't cost T1 much of anything.
But they still managed to step away. BLG will do the same. Now T1 can actually start to get a lot of offensive plays down though. Zeus has still control of the side lane, but we're watch here. Look at the cooldown that's on the well.
This is like this at least is a good Baron play. Like just pull, just CC the jungler and then get out.
But you get Kazante going immediately onto Shun, prevents him coming over the wall, and then this is where Yagao does manage to just barely miss out,
then-
and T1 are able to run away.
Jerry also almost hit them. If he gonna hit, I think they gonna chase down.
Yes, part of that is BLG have a limited composition in terms of what it can do, but this is the version of T1 that fans wanted to see, the one that will choke you out, that will take over in the early game and keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, honestly, the Kindred ult now is only like delaying the might of T1. They're still able to run BLG off of their own defensive cooldowns here.
Oh
Even
my
how
god.
Aggressive
Oh, unstoppable.
Gale Force, stopwatch now coming out. BLG just pushing back in, using so
Just
many
push me.
resources to deny the way. They do get the Gale
Oh, no,
Force
push me.
Guma, but not a lot else.
And Owner's going to be able to 1-4 here. The jungler, Kha'Zix, with the Baron buff, easily gets secondary tower. The rest of the team...
Bin
forces
and
BLG back. Baron
Bin is
tower
useless
can slowly chunking
at this
away.
point.
Now continuing to step forward here.
Bin
but he has
cannot
to be
kill
careful.
anyone.
This step could cost him his life in the game for BLG. 2 minutes and 30 seconds till Elder is on the table. I don't think T1 have any real reason to
That
put
ward
that
cannot see that
Just
ward.
continue to press in with this Baron. 42 seconds left.
I think that Elder is kind of the last remaining opportunity for BLG. Bin launches himself into the pit. Yagao follows up. Maybe
The mid turret is
T1
about
may
to
not give him
die.
That opportunity. Zeus looking for the flank, trying to see if he can get in. Owner onto Bin in the mid lane.
Bin just getting chunked out in the mid lane, firing back.
Oh, what the
The snip.
Ah, shit, jump.
Walk
Ayo.
away, and again, BLG, even if they find an avenue of attack, every single cooldown on T1 needs to be down for them to find a single pick or kill.
Yeah, BLG are looking 10, 15, even 20 minutes into the future here. Just trying to hold, trying to farm. T1 want to put as much pressure on them as possible. Getting these secondary
Okay,
towers
Guma
down,
has
increasing
3
the
items
gold
plus a bit
really
more.
starts to balloon now.
You have to get creative here as BLG. If you just go
That's
into a
a
straight up
quick
5v5,
blow.
T1 are going to take it. And the opportunity here for T1, look, the Baron buff is gone.
Wait,
but they're
what?
still going to put pressure on the top side, try and take that last outer structure. Has been might be caught.
Oh,
Dash out to safety.
Oh, what?
Able to get away
Ah,
from the charge
bruh.
as well as the knockup.
there's no
Gonna cost him his ultimate,
ulti.
which will matter in fights to come, but I think for now, just going to try to clear the wave.
All right, Rakan ultimate for Gwen ultimate here. And T1 reestablishing same game plan. Take away all vision through jungle.
Zaya is alone.
Keep BLG pinned inside their own territory.
So easy now. A minute left until the Elder. Most of the waves pushing. T1 laying down this deep vision that's going to make it so hard for BLG to retake.
I mean, if this is
All
a
but
5
certainly
game,
a T1 win.
they're
BLG
gonna
has to
play
use to
play
cut that out
until
of attack.
12,
The options are
I
so
think.
limited.
And T1, the only reason they're being a bit
If
slow with
T1
this
wants to win, they
tactic
have
that
to.
they have is because they need to draw BLG out into the open. Because BLG have so many defensives here under
Oh
tower,
no, what are you
there's
doing?
only so much forcing you can do. Wait
Hey,
for the
he
Elder
left the
Dragon,
what, man?
draw them out into the open.
I mean, not
Then you
now.
have so many avenues for
Look at
attack.
the 109, 111.
It'd be like you want vision.
It's going to make that much of a difference. T1, as you
And
say,
he level
behind this
15.
ice
Oh, I
flow.
think all the EXP,
It's kind of like
all the EXP is come from
want to leave your base.
Elder is up.
As you say, T1 can jump on you, but you have to leave your base because there's 5 seconds till Elder. So you've now lost all vision
They
control.
better
and it gives
set
an
up this
opportunity for
properly.
T1 to continue to just play forward here.
They see the jungle alone.
No. Oh,
Yes.
flash already. He flashed already. He flashed already.
Get mid control so they have an avenue to attack this Drake.
Jack's coming around for a flank too. Look at the mini map here. Zeus is walking the
Carrier.
Oh, carrier.
It's a double flank.
Oh, he missed.
Oh my. Oh, are you shitting me?
Whiffs on the knockup, I think anticipation, but it's all starting to fall apart. T1 still favored in the fight. Guma continuing to lay down the
Oh,
defenders, but
Bin
Elk is
was
standing
fake
strong.
stuff.
Bin in the mid lane doing what he can to heal up against
Oh
Vega.
my
The side
God.
for the snip. Zeus ready to go in. The stun, getting connect. Zeus finding the
Okay.
finding the angle.
How did they fuck that up?
Barreling down the mid lane. BLG
Carrier.
got themselves a moment, but that's about it.
Stress.
The health bars are too low for T1 though. BLG will manage to push them back and get out of the base.
Carrier
T1
didn't
tried to
flash
play
over
those
the
three
wall,
top
right?
sides and somehow
He feel.
manages to step away, but T1 they reset, they go to the dragon, and they will pick it up.
Oh, Elder is Elder. They
Fight
better
was
to
killer for T1. Bin wanted the 1v1
win
with
this
Baker, but guess what? Zeus has his back. The Jax comes over. They also kill the top laner, and that means T1 take Elder. Now they've got the execution power to go for Baron.
what?
You want to double up your Uber buffs, and T1 will
What's
come
that frozen
knocking at
heart?
the door with Elder Dragon as well as Baron. BLG, it's just too risky
He's
to fight
broke
an
it,
Elder
though.
Dragon out in the open towards Baron. So now they really have to bunker
They
down.
don't need
Where's
no
your
mana.
Shun has no Lamb's Respite, no grand entrance for
Need
Yagao.
the
You have
XP
nothing
slow.
here that can actually set you up for
They
this
need
team
to
fight.
use this Baron. I mean use this Elder to.
On those ultimates,
This
you
is
have the Elder
Exodia,
Soul,
they
you have
should
the
win
ult,
this.
you have
They
no
should
hope.
win.
BLG.
It would take an impossible fight. T1 that
And
should
then
just be
plus
there
they
for
have
the
a
last.
Baron
Cannot
also.
be stronger than this. Massive gold lead, 10k.
They
in
should
their
win
favor.
this.
Double Uber buffs, the Mountain Soul. Just need to close this one up. We just need to take us to game 4. BLG, find an angle, maybe, but it's going to require someone on T1 to overstep, to misstep if they want to come back into this one.
You don't even have like wards. You can
I would
try
say
and
this
you don't really
game,
have anything
Zeus
that your
played
base
well.
can make function, so
He finally
T1, they know
stabilized.
they're safe. They've been doing a fantastic job keeping vision control in their favor, and now they're on to the inhibitor turret.
They gonna gang, please.
Using the mist to clear the wave as much as he can. Cannon Minion still standing strong again. T1
Zeus
slow,
is
controlled, waiting
taking
for
that
misstep.
bot turret, baby.
Again, they have everything they need to
Bonk,
end the game.
bonk,
Why risk
bonk.
it? Play it slow.
Oh,
play it
every-
slow, backs against the wall.
Oh, all 3 turrets are under
BLG
threat.
benefit of the doubt if they can find that angle and just breaking open mid.
Huh?
Baron means T1 get inside the base. They will destroy
You
your
what?
turret.
You are
What?
what?
You still have to bide your time. Wait for it to
You
fall
said,
off. They're gonna bunker down.
Oh, this is a very synchronized 3 inhibitor take. What the
Three
fuck?
waves coming in. 2 cannon minions.
They
That's
have-
actually the most beautiful timing I've ever seen.
Elder
T1 again, they
30
don't need
second-
more fight, they just
20
need to
second
focus
more.
Slowly,
Win
but
the deal,
surely
yeah.
grind BLG out of this game. Zeus sleeping in.
Push lah, push.
They better not screw up this time. The Nexus is still up.
They're waiting for Elder, is it?
Maybe they can find that avenue. Maybe they can hold on for another minute or so, but that
Oh,
should just be
kill-
about it. Immediately, Ben goes
Ben is
forward,
dead.
finds a brief second. 3 seconds left on the Elder.
Go, 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 go.
Oh, get out of the fucking Zeri.
Just get the base, man.
Still standing for now. T1 fighting.
Oh, go, go, okay.
Having such a good time in the base as they
Yep.
keep their hopes alive going into game 4.
Oh my god.
T1 still fighting here. They stand up in game
Baker
number
Cassante,
3.
man.
Big snowball.
Baker Cassante and
Cassante.
I think
Baker made the
the Cassante
And
at the
just in
first game
general,
and
T1's
second
having
got
a
banned,
capacity,
if I'm mistaken.
especially in that bottom lane. Guma, Yushi, and Carrier getting multiple kills for themselves in the 2v2, allowing them then to play these team fights with that tankier front line. And overall, T1, this was a much needed win, not only for just the fact they would have been knocked out, but also just for the mental, making sure that you can start that comeback right here, right now.
And it's only gonna
FPS still looks very tired.
Incredible performance, isolated, making
Yeah,
sure
just now he
that
feel,
Order
man.
didn't have to
The-
rely on a smite steal, although they did still get one in the early game. Overall, a much cleaner game, and BLG maybe feeling overconfident in that draft. You can see didn't have the tools to do much of anything.
Wow,
other than
LS
wait
is
for T1
streaming.
to make a play and respond. An incredibly difficult game. Still have the
Yeah,
match.
well.
Still need to
When
win 2 in a
T1 is
row.
playing,
They
he
wanna
stream,
close
I
this out
don't.
one game at a time for the squad overall, but an impressive performance.
Kedro is still better. Look at that 54k.
It's nice not to have to rely on
Many
specials
people
because you
watching
know
him
the
on-
owner's got you.
Yeah.
Throw in an extra few, grab some objectives. Massive, massive stuff for him. Only 1 death on the Kazakhs too. Always feels so nice.
Just an excellent performance across the board for T1. For more on that T1
Is the
win,
Guma say 3-2 finger?
Thank you so much, T1, learning some lessons throughout this day. Also
Real?
a huge Kasante, and overall it was Gumayushi that in the video we saw to break went 3-2 to the camera, and it all started in that bot lane.
Never doubted them. You know, I was very scared. But what I do want to highlight here specifically for T1, and even they are still backs against the wall, right? They're going to lose side selection. I don't think they should get Kasante again. Thank you for that one, BLG.
Hey, who knows?
I really hope they don't, because I do think that that was a big problem. But what I'm happiest about is just seeing that the team looks a little bit more like themselves, right? They're still, at this point in the series, the underdog. Being able to bounce back 1 game is good, but at least we're playing aggressive, right? We saw Guma and Carrier going aggressively in the 2v2. We saw Zeus playing with confidence after a really, really rough game number 2. And those signs of life, I think, is what many T1s were hoping for after the first 2 games.
Yeah, and there's been a couple trends, I feel like, in all 3 of these games. So still, in all 3 of the games, BLG has been able to kill bot lane early.
Yep.
That's a problem that T1 still needs to fix if they want to win the series. But the second thing I'd say would be, even though we are locked in a team fight meta at MSI, the team who wins side lanes has won every game. So when Zeus's Jax can outpace the Gwen in side lanes, and that's where the Kasante comes in as well, having that flexibility from the blue side, to be able to win sides, it makes the team fighting easier because your setup is better.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say another really interesting thing. So I actually didn't mind BLG's draft. I liked it a little bit better than T1's holistically. But one important thing is returning to the Kasante in terms of how you play. Kasante is so, first of all, he's just so strong, but also really good at isolating a carry, right? So when we talk about how BLG sometimes want to approach these team fights, it's not as much standard front to back as it is picking off people 1 by 1, separating into smaller skirmishes. Kasante actually allows Faker to do that within T1's team fights as well, and I think we saw that reflected. I also think that that first Drake steal from Owner is actually incredibly important, right? Because otherwise I do see a world where BLG end up, again, snowballing that kind of stacking, taking over the bot side of the map, and then they also did swap. They did do the swap where they really wanted the Gwen into Kasante mid to make sure that Bin
There's
was
banana chocolate balls in KFC. What?
Feel coming out of T1 there,
What?
and such a key to T1 success generally, and seemingly also in this
A
series
treat
of
for all
course,
mothers.
is how
Free
Carrier
5
is able to
pieces
impact
banana
the game.
chocolate
And
balls
you
on
laid it out
weekends
before.
in May,
You said we wanna
with
see
a minimum
that
purchase of
to make everything else work.
40 ringgit in-store purchases only.
Relies on carry as aggressive playmaking. I think his laning
Which is what?
fights were incredible. Did make
You
some
need to
mistakes
buy
in the
40
team
to
fights,
get
but
free
that's what
balls.
they run. And crucially,
What balls?
just both on his bot lane
Banana
as
chocolate
well, I
balls.
think he wants to play aggressively,
Nani.
right? It ends up working out very well due to Carrier and the rest of his team really going in hard on this. Lulu basically has gone unpunished in every single game, and we know how much impact it can have once you get out. As Guma's very confident no matter what state of the game
Guma?
You
or
need
in the
someone
series
like
you're in.
that.
Really is,
Yes.
and it also goes back to what we're saying, right? This is the guy that has, I think, been the rock for T1 for the last year.
Yeah.
And it's
Ah.
good to see him playing well. He still had a bit of an oopsie.
It's gonna
towards the end
be
of that
5
Yeah.
game.
It was game 2 team select where we saw him kind of head in hands and hasn't been himself. I mean, he's the MVP of the LCK. I think sometimes the expectations for him are so high that it makes you think he needs to do these extraordinary things every game. But in a lot of cases, he just needs to do his job.
Yeah, indeed, and that goes for everyone. And it's so interesting how at the beginning of the day we talked about, T1 will be able to match and will be willing to take those fights. I do feel like they've taken a little step back and said, actually, no. Actually, we're going to be aggressive on our own terms and then try and kill the game in a safer manner because we don't trust ourselves going into these full skirmishes at all times. Is that a
Who
correct
the
read?
fuck?
I think so. I think the main
Wow, you come
again,
in
is
so
that
early,
T1
yeah.
is still here, even though again, I don't think they look like they did domestically.
I see
That
the
is in
T1
control
fight
of
a
a
bit,
game,
and then I
looks
leave.
Yeah.
recognizable.
It's
Even
so
though with the big Mad Lions comeback,
now
that's not how they played for
fighting.
a year. And I think
still
that's why they really
losing,
struggle in this series.
but
Also got
just
a
now,
top trader, I believe,
they win
Drake
one game
for
already.
T1.
And,
I
what
saw
we're gonna break down here
the one
specifically is the reason
they
why
play
I
Jace
personally
Faker
don't
and
think
then
we're going to
Zeus
see
Cannon and
Kasante
then
again as
yeah.
we roll
Yeah.
the clip. I want you to pay
Yeah.
attention. Something that
This one they're still fighting,
BLG
right?
have
It's
done
not a
very
replay
well
or anything.
is splitting up a fight into
Oh, is it a
multiple
replay?
sections. And what we have here is
Oh,
exactly that.
man.
Faker pulling over
If they-
Shun towards the bottom half of the fight.
If they fight, tell me.
Zeus
I'm
coming
in
for the flank.
simulated
Three
world.
big Zeus jacks, right, with Counter-Strike.
Simulator what?
The Kindred,
Simulator
and
ass,
there you have so much
World.
threat. So as we play it
Simulator
on,
Ghost.
this effectively
Ghost Simulator.
turns into
Yes.
multiple tiny
Shielded
little fights,
characters.
but Faker, being
Trace
Kasante,
can
is
attack
able to then get out ahead, and by the
backstage.
time that they actually are able to chase Faker off,
There's a
we
pause
see
break.
the Drake is gone, Bin has gone down because the rest
What?
of T1 has been able to get him.
Oh, they're
Yagao is stuck
explaining
across
the
the
fight.
wall, and because T1 still has
Why
Zeus
expect a
focusing
fight
on an L,
where you can
there
just
isn't
go
really an
dum-dum?
opportunity for them to get back.
Yeah, the Kasante was absolutely massive and
Bunka,
is going
bunka
to be a
smash.
focus into this next draft. Now BLG is moving to the blue side. This is the same side they had in game 1 of the series, and as a reminder, they went for the Jax, Viego, Annie, Zeri, Lulu against the Gragas, Wukong, Lissandra, Zaya, Rakan, Jat.
I think the bans are what's most interesting to me. So in game 1, I'm stealing off
What?
Emily's
That's the
notes.
wrong draft.
Maokai,
What is this?
Vi, and Kha'Zix were banned for the
What?
first game.
What?
T1 has struggled
Wait,
a
I was
lot
like,
against
stop
Annie.
waiting.
I heard Lissandra, I'm like, huh?
Drop either the Maokai ban or the Kha'Zix
Yeah,
ban, as
yeah.
I'd like to see.
Huh?
And
Huh?
This is-
I think
Oh, wait.
go for
Oh wait, I'm high.
the best
He's
side
the
lane
point
pick
guard.
they can have. We've almost gone full circle. Again, we were discussing
I was looking at the
during
bans as the
games
pick.
how everyone was playing tank, team fighting tops, and now we're kind of back to carries. But I do really think the side lanes have been so pivotal in the series.
I also think that, as both BLG and JDG have shown, Maokai can be answered if you can try and make sure the enemy team doesn't take your Sylas away, right? That Sylas has been a pick that actually has worked incredibly well, really stifling a lot of the control and zoning that the Maokai provides.
And Emily BLG are still on match point. We've seen that the bin factor hasn't been as big of a factor in this match as it has been yesterday. You
I just
see
hope that Guma can play Jinx
in
or
order for
what
them
the
to
fuck.
book that spot in the final in the next game.
I mean, a
feel
lot of
like
it's about
BLG
execution.
is
I'm very
trolling this
curious
game,
to see. I think they will ban the Kasante because they
They
actually
just want to play another match. They don't want it to end so early.
in that same game 1 that Jat was talking about.
Look at
The
them,
thing
like,
I'm
No.
most curious about is because it's
Kindred
going to heavily depend on
and-
what T1 want to lead
They
up
let T1
on
have
red
Kasante
side
for
for
one
them
round.
to first pick.
They give
and then
chance.
how they use that first pick from there. So it's going to heavily depend on what T1 decide they don't
Okay,
want BLG
they
to
ban
have and
Kasante.
what kind of trading happens with OP picks
And
there.
then
Gut check.
Hey,
what they gonna play?
Right now, they can first pick Annie again.
I'm
They are
feeling it.
blue side.
Okay,
right?
No
well, you
problem.
need to feel
Easy.
it out
I think
better.
so.
I'm
First game was
not that confident.
T1 on red
Okay.
side.
Look at Silver
Oh, we
Screen.
need to talk.
They
First
will
game,
not have the
T1
I forgot
ability to
already.
die first.
T1 blue,
Blue.
T1 blue.
Here.
And then they
Then I'll
pick
be
Lissandra,
Don't
lor.
let that happen.
T1.
Make Jat
Wait, but how
confident.
did
I'd love to see
they
it,
still
but
get any
T1
then?
stays alive to fight another
They
game.
didn't ban,
Let's see
huh?
if they can keep
What
it
the
up.
fuck?
They refuse to lose to a little kid.
They still did.
That's why I say they refuse to lose to a little kid.
People at the pit. What?
Oh, Yasuo, oh,
Asayo.
oh. Oh my god, he ran in a straight line.
Ayagegon.
Wait, what? 50% goes to the teams at MSI? Oh damn! I'll get a quick bite.
Right? This nut?
Oh.
What?
Kuli. Oh. We are back.
Finding a win on the back of an incredibly dominant performance. Need to see if they can replicate that and bring us to a Game 5 as BLG point.
I'm so excited for this. I mean, look, the fact that we actually get T1 striking back in Game 3 now, I really do think is going to give them a ton of momentum into this. And what we saw in Game 1 was both these teams throwing absolute haymakers. I want to see the same coming into Game 4 now.
And need to see where the adaptation is going to be in the draft, because the difficulty of going down 0-2 is that win that T1 got, they now have to keep winning without the luxury of side selection. Need to be able to adapt the draft on the fly and keep the mental strong. You can see Carrier meditating, staying focused. He was getting a pep talk after Game 2 from the coaching staff.
Visualize the win.
Channeling.
Visualize the win, boys. The
Look at all the emoji.
Can T1. They always make fun.
Lol.
For the last couple of years, T1.
Yeah, as long as they've had this lineup, never missed a final.
Close here, though, versus BLG, versus Bin. And Bin did predict in his interview yesterday.
Yeah, they bank Asante.
3-1 versus T1, so we might just be following his script.
We thought someone else wrote the
They
script.
ban Jinx though.
Potentially, we'll have to find out.
Yeah, ban
It
Annie.
looks like at least a decent start here for BLG, banning away that Cassante that was
Sandra
so
open.
the last one. Still sticking to the Jinx ban. Will BLG
Ali open.
onto the blue? It'll be interesting to see if they can have a repeat performance.
Ali not, I think.
Or
Ali
if
not
they'll
good.
fall behind again.
Ali not good
Nautilus first pick here, okay, so keeping the
Oh,
flag
Nautilus.
for Yagao. This fits right into his wheelhouse, utility, team-focused pick, and champion.
And oftentimes banned with the Cassante, but with the Cassante gone, it makes it a little bit easier then for Yagao to actually have that time.
The faith that T1 have in their Xayah Rakan, though, still stays
Wukong.
strong. And they only double ban the jungle, so they get the Wukong this time around. Again, that big engaged possibility here.
And then they Kindred again.
You assume the Lulu.
I don't think they'll
I think it'll be the Zeri Lulu, but it's going to be surprising to see exactly what
Oh, Zeri.
when you think about it.
Lulu.
Already go towards the Kindred. We've already seen how good Lulu
yeah.
is, of course, this game, this tournament against
Oh.
this.
Oh my
maybe
god.
looking like, okay, Sejuani's, maybe we can go back towards something like Lee Sin, but you're definitely starting to go into a weird pool.
And I love the Viego. I want to see those explosive Viego fights behind the Nautilus.
Sandra.
Try and get that shutdown and
I
snowball
think they'll
them.
pick ADC here.
And I think the first pick ban,
Saya.
as expected, of course, a mismatch on the mid lane as they can now ban.
Now they ban. Now what they gonna ban?
There is something that T1 want to target. What their
Sandra.
priority is going to be there.
Gragas again.
It's a tough call. I honestly, I'm trying to figure out in my head what they want to go towards. They're going to ban the Kindred, so I think it will still be those jungle bans, but maybe they ban towards the Nidalee as well.
Why ban Kindred? Why?
The Nautilus and the Nidalee work in tandem,
Yes.
but
Fairy.
it is going to be a tough one here. I think Shun definitely needs to start to figure out where he wants to go. I think going towards more of a tank could work out well and just try and put as many beefcakes in front of Bell because he's been having a fantastic series.
If it is the tank, I would prefer the Poppy over the Sejuani even.
True.
Nidalee. Okay, a lot of respect.
Nidalee ban?
We haven't seen it really
What?
try
He's
outside
done
of
shit this
one
tournament.
G2 game at the start of play.
Why they ban Nidalee?
But
Why
second
they
round,
don't
those
ban
snowball picks for sure.
Viego?
I
Wow,
think
way.
Faker an excellent opportunity here if he
Oh,
wants
wait.
to go for Ari. Wukong, it is a very bad matchup into the Nautilus, but can still be a big playmaker.
I do agree.
Oh my
with,
god.
This is a fantastic Poppy angle. If you end up
Oh
doing that for
my
sure, like the amount of engage that you have
Let him cook.
on the side of T1.
Oh no, look at them. They ban Lissandra.
See exactly what T1 are going to go for. I imagine like a bit of a blind in the
it's
lane.
gotta
I think
be
Slandra's
Viego
gone, so it's a case of what do you actually
Maybe, yeah, they Viego for sure.
As you say, maybe, but there's not a huge amount of picks that we've seen from
I
Faker.
think BLG is Viego
Jack's
Blitzcrank.
actually going to be
Okay.
what's
Oh, wait,
picked up
cannot
here.
be.
Oh, they Jax.
Bit of a blind. Would know the mid lane match, but instead just trying to give Faker as much
Grand
information as
again.
possible before they decide exactly where they want to put that pick. And the Poppy looking even stronger with the Jax locked in.
I really hope that Faker is cooking up an amazing 5th pick, counter pick right now.
Where's Chronicler? Where's Chronicler?
He is that
Oh,
Fiora.
Fiora.
He is that Fiora. All right, Zeus, the Jackson to Fiora matchup.
Oh my.
Carry
man.
matchup of the current meta.
And I think this is an incredibly confident pick because at the end of the day, whenever you play Fiora, you kind of make the game about yourself. And this tournament has not been about top laners.
All right, so I want the Poppy, but really, I'm very curious
Oh.
about Faker. There's been so
Oh,
much
Kha'Zix.
theory crafting since
Oh,
Nautilus
oh.
about individual lane champions that you can play, other melee champions in mid
What?
lane into that Nautilus.
So what?
So come on, Faker, come on, give me something spicy.
Now
Come on.
is the Faker lor.
Gonna be
Faker one.
Mordekaiser allowed.
Ali?
There's no way.
Ah.
There's no
No,
way.
Jace?
Okay, the same
Yeah, Ali, yeah.
Not a great match.
Ali, yeah.
Out, but still a lot of playmaking.
Exactly. A lot
Yeah.
of playmaking. There's a reason Ari is so popular right now on this patch. So much playmaking. You have that pick potential. You can skills. You can jump in towards this area as well.
But it looks like, at least for T1, play through strongway jungle, try and lean into that bot side, play for Guma, you should carry it. But when I look towards BLG, as you rightly called out, Dracos, this Fiora, Bin has been outstanding on it for years. The only pentakill in finals, or world finals, was for Bin on this Fiora. And he's going to have to see now if he can have a similar performance. Definitely with the matchup, he can
So
have a
many
good
people
time,
here.
but it's very much a skill matchup. And as we pointed out at the start of the day, over the course of Bin versus Zeus, Zeus has been the one that's been able to come in on top when it comes to goal difference, when it comes to CS. So this has been really throwing down that challenge, saying, I know I've grown, I know I can beat Zeus, and I know that I can push us to that finals against JDG.
And it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself in a match point situation because win or lose, it feels like this game is.
Okay, I'm gonna try this game pick here, boy.
On the top side of the map and played around Elk, played around the setup that you have from Yagao. Instead, putting that faith into yourself, putting your faith into the counter pick on top side. 2-1 currently the score for BLG. T1 going to look to bring us to a game 5 here, but we'll have to see how the Fiora works out for Bin. It's going to be all eyes on the top side of the map.
What a way to do it. What a way to bring us in towards this game 4. I am so excited to see this. It's a matchup that we've seen time and time again in the LPL. Bin is going to be very familiar with it. We'll have to see what Zeus can do to fight back.
Must win games for T1. If they want to keep their finals appearance streak alive, must win games. Faker on the Ahri. Zeus taking the carry matchup topside. The counter strike proposed mind game.
Just let us farm.
And comfort on both sides. Yagao on this Nautilus has been one of the big picks for him. Elkin on the Zeri Lulu. Bean on his Fiora, Shun on
This
Akari,
is
but on the opposite side,
the match
we're
of
back
the
to the
history.
Zyra Khan that dominated that bot lane for T1. Faker and Owner on this strong mid jungle, and Zeus on Akari. This is where both squads want to draw the line and show that they deserve to go up against JDG tomorrow.
Copperbox erupting with cheers for T1.
JDG tomorrow.
A lot of pressure again.
Oh,
You can't
tomorrow
afford
is the
to look ahead.
final.
You can't afford to think about JDG and
So
how
fast.
close you're winning to
Yeah, yeah.
Go for
that 5-game series. Have to stay focused on the opponent ahead of you.
Tomorrow is the final
You can feel the
countdown.
tension here, even as the teams
The
have
final,
changed
but-
through the video.
Of
Why
course.
not? A little tension release, you know? Build it up,
Trust me.
release it. Shout out to the audience. Master craftsman.
And we're gonna get a wolf start here for Shun. Topside Kazakhs. Leashing them all the way over around. Right.
Again, keeping our eyes on the junglers to be
They both.
impactful in the early game, especially around mid lane.
Ah.
So much set up bot lane as well for the side of T1 with this Rakan. We saw Keria and Guma together from Fog of War finding fun to on once he had burned that flash.
With both junglers starting on opposite sides, we'll have to see exactly where they're going to be going. Wukong moving up towards that top side definitely gives an opportunity for him to try and play in towards Zeus and Bin in this top side matchup. A huge amount of this matchup is the mind games. When does Zeus pop the counter strike? When do you answer with the riposte? Can you time it out? And right now, Zeus just starting to push forward, using the fact he's got the level advantage and that counter strike at level 1.
And because of that topside start for Kazakhs, oh, actually, we're gonna have a wraparound here.
Dun,
Shun
dun,
coming for
dun,
the level
dun,
3
dun,
pass
dun,
through
dun.
mid to get
It's
to his bottom
impossible to
side.
gang
See if
up.
they can get any sums out of Faker.
Level 3 for Yagao. Jumping in, Faker's gonna
Oh
find
my
Seti.
God.
Oh
Anticipating
no,
the
what
slap,
the
but will
fuck?
find it.
What is
Easy
that?
for Faker. Nerves of
Yeah,
steel
he
at the moment.
predicted the flash. He predicted the
Yagao
flash.
goes for the flash
Lol.
predict, and Faker makes him look silly.
Sometimes
when holding
don't
it.
think too much.
Does not panic, holds his sums.
And that's huge.
Oh, the chat.
Yeah,
Lakers able to
don't
hold on to
panic,
that flash,
don't
and now Yagao
panic.
does an amazing stat playmaking.
Chile.
So little opportunities there in that mid lane. Plus the fact that Owner can be trying to make a visit into the mid lane as Faker starts to chip down Yagao. We'll probably need to push
And then
in
they
and
picked
reset
out
though,
their
with how low
one
he is at the
flash.
moment.
Good lah.
Now on the top side again, checking in, waiting again for that mind game, but keeping our eyes on the jungler, especially as Owner completes his first
The
clear
mind
on the
game.
top
They
side
want
of
to
the
mind
map.
break them.
Difficult to force the
Yep.
on to Ben at this stage of the game, but Melo just create another pressure advantage in the top lane.
Yep, Owner finishing on that top side. Zeus backing off a little bit. Bin has to know though. His jungler's been seen on bottom side. He's at a jungle pressure deficit.
Walking up to the waiting arms of Owner, the waiting arms of
Oh,
Owner.
baby,
Barry coming out.
baby.
Barry
This
coming
one
out.
whole night.
Trying to make use of his bone plating, harassing here on the way.
Oh, oh.
As a top laner, trying to exchange damage on jungle.
Carry fishing for the knock-up, sidestep by Elk. Elk keeping the trade going. Shun on the bottom side of the map.
No
Now looking to
damage.
set up for a potential dive.
Aw,
Oh shit.
It's the
Oh,
boy
baby.
again.
Oh, they gonna gang bot lane. Oh my god.
The Owner's trying to get the gank off, stop him from showing
Oh no.
Buffer on the charm means Yagao makes it out to safety for a
Oh.
flash from the previous play. Titan
No
trap,
flash,
keeping
go
him healthy
No
for
flash, go in.
With a dive on the bottom
No
side.
flash,
What's the
go-
response
No
from BLG?
flash.
First blood for T1
Dive.
in the mid lane.
Oh,
BLG,
dive.
how will they fire
Two
back?
kills.
Top side of the map though. Bin and Zeus trading back and forth. A dive on the
Oh.
side. It's one.
Oh,
Now looking for a second.
baby.
BLG have on tanking. They're able to walk away. Carry is still standing, but Guma taking
It's
down.
okay.
They want more. They're not done yet. Carry a
They're
flash.
flashing to safety. That's the ignite now ticking. They're able to make it out. Oh,
Damn.
still standing. They're on the retreat. Owner not there in time.
Owner and Faker stopped walking down to the bot lane. They weren't there in time on BLG. As soon as they saw Faker reappear on mid, they were like, fantastic, we can go for the second one, but on!
Waiting into the darkness, on with the shield.
Oh.
Getting the flash out from Owner, just barely able to walk away.
Still huge stuff there for BLG to be able to get those kills on bottom lane. Bottom lane, we know this is where your money is made. This is where your team fights are made. Getting that focus money onto the Zeri. Look at the CS afterwards that they have to drop for this.
I mean, the fact you get that polymorph immediately means Guma usually can't do a thing on tanking it up. And you can see here, look at where the roam is from T1. They start to stop and reset, and that's why they're not here in the bottom lane as BLG decide to continue the dive.
Yeah, they know. They decide it's too late. The kill's already been had on the AD carry, but BLG stick around.
Yeah,
here
why
and
he-
get the second kill as well, and then even though they don't give any money back critically
Lol.
of the map.
But didn't get
Small
the
window
play.
of opportunity though is that none of the kills went on to Elk. One onto Kha'Zix, one onto On means that at least it's not as disastrous for T1, but with Cole in pocket and the fact that Elk has that lead, he's still in a fantastic spot.
And ultimately, it was On's flash being down in the previous game that gave Carry and Guma so many opportunities to find those 2v2 kills without the help of a jungler. Maybe can look to do the same here. Elk and On playing with a lot of respect. Backing off on the bottom side has been, and Zeus trading blows been a small XP advantage. Keep our eye on that matchup as more items come through. Very close in the gold overall, but 400 for Elk on the bottom side.
All right, I'm gonna look at Owner here, the Wukong. Needs to get his level 6. Wukong level 6, possibility of turning that play around. River being taken over by BLG though. The Dragon should be there.
Oh, they gang.
Yagao moves into the
Oh, those.
himself. Shun's already here.
They want the dragon.
Bottom lane rotates up. Mid pressure into bottom pressure. Dragon secured for BLG.
And the fact that now you managed to secure this in 6.5 minutes means that you can start to get control of our bot side and still look to rotate Elkanon up towards that Rift Herald. That's been the story of BLG pretty much every single Rift Herald this series. Get their AD carry there, try and leverage that into some kills for Elk. We'll have to see if it can work out again for them here in game 4.
AD carries, are kings. They rule the game. The Dragons are down there. Start your stacking early. Get your rotations up towards that 7.5 minute mark.
Guma taking a lot of damage there in the exchange. Carry now going to try to fire back. Guma waiting on the feather pull back.
The feather range, what?
Playing on the edge there, but Shun now repeating.
Is
He's on the
here
bottom side.
again.
Guma.
Oh, he's here
we go
again.
Not there for
again.
Guma.
Oh my god.
BLG, Shun slips in. Hello.
Hello.
Carry now polymorphed immediately. They're going to go for one, and instantly Shun flashes out to safety. The TP
Oh, he
burn
stopped.
to no effect.
Oh, wait, what?
Zeus now
I thought he
needs
stopped.
to try and get something back. Faker on the way down. Shun just needs to sneak away, but I don't think there's an angle here. Ari leaping in. The shutdown for Faker. Big to respond from the kill on the
Hey,
bottom
that
side.
shutdown,
The
you
fact
good
have
lah.
that TP from Zeus
So
means
much
you
money.
have to get something. Bin has managed to freeze this in the top wave, so he's going to get a fairly nice bit of CS for himself. Get
Wait, how
himself
much
back
is the
into this
shutdown?
matchup as well as Zeus had managed to get.
Ayo, now they so mad man.
Now look at the
Bot
map.
lane.
They're gonna
Aiya.
be
They
forced
be
to
like,
this.
you
Freeze on
bully
top
our
side,
brother.
Big Fior getting here, and then Jungle gonna rotate over for the spawn of this Rift Herald. There's existing Scuttle Crab Vision and Control Ward here for T1, but the bottom lane focus for BLG again. Shun jumps in, assassination complete, flashes out. Not able to.
Oh, he didn't
get any
stop
sort of
though.
stop, of
I mean,
course, for
can
Fiora,
stop, eh?
but a little bit of damage.
No, cannot.
A little bit
The
of
mark
send him
must
over there
in
with
front
some damage.
of him. Only can stop.
Team can make anything happen.
And obviously a pretty simple kill there for Faker, but good that they are able to get that one back. And I'm loving
Love it.
Shout out to
What is
the
that
game
play?
chat, audience, and camera guys. There's a lot of great experience in this one.
T1 though, they let Bin have that minion wave at his tower, and they try and get this Rift Herald. It takes so long to take down. 3,000 health, one more eyeball pop.
They're
A
not
lot of good
fighting
fighting
this.
tools ultimate up and available for Owner. Not sure if BLG want to contest this. Looks like they will. Just give it away. T1 using brute force to secure that Herald. Now waiting in the dark.
No, no, no.
Very big for some recovery there for T1. To be able to get that on reset, as BLG did.
Oh my god.
As well. But with that big minion wave being pushed out by Bin, not going to be able to have anything happen.
Elk going all in.
Oh, shit.
Still level 5 for Guma, level 7 for Bin. Or Elk, excuse me.
Can he get 6?
Elk's
Can
now
he get
getting
6?
aggressive. Guma racing to 6 as fast as he can. The tower.
Oh lord.
Elk playing on the edge. Carry on the way down. Ultra Shock Laser not going to connect on the tower. On coming in as well.
Oh, that was very, very
Yeah.
close. I think
He's so steam man.
tried to
Open
set up
goals.
For On, who had actually managed to wrap around behind the tower to see if they could get it, but he was matched by Carrier, so On
Open
was
hand.
in
Oh.
position to get onto Guma Yushi underneath that tower. But Elk very far ahead in this bot lane matchup and showing us just not able to get the kill, but a near 30 CS lead, plus you got that Cole about to come through. Elk is once more being set up for success by BLG.
Oh man, you can say that. 3,900 to 2,800 this early in the game. 1,000 gold lead is massive.
And the clone
Hmm.
yet. It's not even fully stacked, and Guma doesn't even have one to respond. This is going to be a massive gold difference.
The
as we get
Jax
into more
and the
points
Wukong
mid
have the
tournaments.
same item.
It's the entire gold difference of the teams right now. Plus they got the Dragon off their bottom lane pressure.
Oh.
Continuing to win on these trades.
I was about to say, you could all in as Bin. You have to be very careful here as Zeus. Bin,
Oh.
yeah, that was it. You see,
Oh.
slow, so he could go for that all in, but
Yeah.
not able to do so.
Damn.
Bin will just, or sorry, Zeus will just respect it and will back away.
No man man.
Zeus is going to take the chance to reset here, get another item under his belt. Top lane tense, but a small lead for Bin as of the moment. Partially because of the roam down from Zeus early on with the TP.
Oh,
Have access for that to come back to the lane.
really?
He's just going to try to go for the all-in here, but this is very risky. Counter-Strike coming out. Zeus going to find the stun, but there's a mark on the side here. Zeus now trying to full commit. Bin now leaping out to safety. Zeus, does he have the angle? He's going to go in, but it's going to be the 1-for-1 on the top side.
The 1-for-1, Bin managing to get the kill, but Zeus, nicely done. Spots that there's very little mana on Bin. Doesn't have enough for the riposte, so Zeus decides to go for the all-in. Will get the kill, should be able to get back towards the lane, or sorry, the wave that's in that top side as well. So nice job there from Zeus.
Yeah, minion wave gonna bounce back. Both flashes used by the top laners and the draw. They're just gonna have Owner push that bouncing wave back out actually. Since Bin does have teleport, Bin will be able to go catch.
Well, coming in, the charm gonna connect. Faker, not enough damage to work through that Lulu shield at this stage of the game. Keria not going to get caught out as he pushes down a little bit of vision. Cleared out immediately by Shun, though, courtesy of the sweeper.
So they know. They're making the call. Bin teleports topside, catch that wave as Dragon spawns. Top laners will be up there on their islands.
But because Owner went up there, he's not in a position to
Would
get
they
this
get Dragon
down as
again?
Dragon spawns, so a bit of a missed opportunity now. T1 not really in a position to follow up. Faker looking for the reset to TP back in, so BLG will manage to get the Dragon before Owner gets in position with the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Faker had full ever.
Are they gonna-
Wanted to get his purchase off. Now he's coming out pretty big.
Shun waiting over the wall. Still a very tanky Nautilus. The Aftershock will fade away shortly, and they're going to try to burn him down before Shun can get into the fight. Yagao walking for now on. Coming in, the shield is huge. Yagao still standing. He'll be able to make it out.
On is there to save the day. Flash Lulu.
Like this also can now. What the fuck?
Elk versus
Oh,
Faker.
shit.
Immediately going to ult. His Charmed is locked up. Back half coming through. Faker needs to rush out. Spirit Rush is coming out just in time. Elk still fishing for the 1v1. Trading back and forth as the bot lane tower is now set to fall. Faker versus Elk will finally fade away as Faker walks off.
Not going to look for the all-in, but T1 still get what they came for. Bot lane tower with that Rift Herald charge was all the thing he wanted. Get some of that gold back into Guma Yushi. Still, though, about a 900 gold lead for Elk off the back of that, but it's desperately needed so he can finish his Gale Force and get into a position where maybe he can contest some of these fights.
Yeah, Mythic should be completed for both of them. As Elk goes back, there we go. We get the shield bow as well. That extra big shield for safety. And even though they don't get the kill on the Yagao, as you said, bottom side objective taken.
Zeus waiting in the darkness. He's been backing off, knows that he can now approach the wave, but Zeus is going to stick around here, trading back and forth. Ben will try to call the bluff on the counter-strike, so Zeus is going to retreat as Jun fishing for Keria here in the enemy jungle. Will use the ultimate there.
So back away, but BLG seeing if they can get control over this top side. And this is again just to see if they can allow now Bin with the Sheen completed to just constantly trade against Zeus, even just pushing him back. You can see half health now on that top side for Zeus, and with that many members of BLG,
They won the hero.
Going in, Shun. Get a poke onto Keria, just trying to stop Keria from laying down any of this vision, trying to choke them out with the power of the Umbral Glaive.
Big jungle power spikes here. Owner gets his Divine as well as that coveted very big lethality spike for Shun. And Owner's ultimate comes back up 3 seconds here. Wants to try and combine off of a Faker play. Running down mid, teleport used for Yagao to stop the minion wave. Support Elk trying to clear it out. The Ahri plus the Wukong have so much playmaking ability on these spikes though, on their single items. With their ultimates available, that is a deadly duo.
They really want to try and contest for this Rift Herald, get mid prio, get their vision down, even Bin with the quick reset, and now the Divine Sunder coming back. Zeus has his own though, can TP into this top side, but knows that a lot of it belongs to BLG, but maybe Owner doesn't.
Shun waiting in the darkness. Ooh, heads up use of the sweeper there to spot out the Kazakhs waiting for him. Now coming to fight, we talked about it. Mid-game playmaking, name of the game with an Ahri Wukong duo. Elk has to be careful here. Yagao gonna get the fight kicked off. Faker ready to come over the wall.
Oh my god.
Wants to keep this fight going. Slow from the Ultra Shock laser will connect. That's the ulti proc, and Guma just has to run for the hills.
Cannot take risk.
Lucky he's able to buy the Gale Force time to make it out of that one. Faker now locked up. Faker, the ultimate has to be used to try to take him out to safety. The charm connecting, but onto Yagao, and it is Elk on the backside, still fishing. They will walk away. Herald for BLG.
Oh, Keria, he's deleted. Wait, they want more?
Going in.
Oh.
Be careful here. Elk now flashing out to safety. That's the feathers. Guma's gonna be vulnerable. Shun still taking the Herald, still uncontested, but T1 trying to get Prio in the mid lane.
Keria's alive and walking back from that low death timer. 4K health on that Rift.
Hey, they still one fight, man?
Pop. All right.
Rakan not around eh?
Thread through it. T1, I don't think there's
No
any
lah.
really. But Barrel's taken by BLG. T1 maybe going to try to leverage their advantage to get some damage down in mid lane.
So let's be so careful though. Yago starting to step forward.
No.
Shun in the back line as well, putting pressure. So
Don't do
T1
this.
will just step back. They don't want to put themselves too far forward and have BLG look for the engage.
They don't have the Zai ult, they don't have the Ahri ult, they don't have the Wukong ult. Good that they're able to push that wave in, but that could have been disastrous if BLG had tried to engage in that moment. Luckily for them, Yagao also does not have the ult available. No re-engage opportunity for BLG.
Time and time again. Early move into the river for the vision control. We saw it when Yagao was on the Annie. Even without flash, he had positioning. They get the chunk onto the member of T1 that's coming to get vision to buy entry, even up to the objective. BLG do it again. They're there first. Off of that Fog of War, boom. They get the hook. Carry is dead before his body even hits the floor. And they get the objective win. Rift Trail number 2 now in the hands of Shun.
Was a little bit dicey though. I mean, Elk trying to go over the wall, gets caught out, has to burn his flash, has to burn his ghost. So with that dragon now in 20 seconds, what could have been a very big win for BLG, where Elk can play very aggressive in the fight, now doesn't have as much of an opportunity. So going to be way more reliant on to make sure that he can keep him safe. Because when you look at the team fights we've seen from Elk, where he really gets to pop off, it's been beefy front lines, people who can try and support him in multiple ways, but it's just not quite the case with this. Yagao is your front line, and you do have on, but apart from that, you're kind of on your own.
Look at these wards for BLG. They push mid wave, they slather the river with control wards for themselves. Again, great positioning.
Just
they pop the herald.
hearing
Gal's
everything.
fishing around for hooks on the corner.
Yeah, Kajik ma.
Second
Just like honor did
tower
lor.
won't break it, but we'll get some good damage down and secure mid priority so they can move into the river. So much work being done by the Umbral Glaive here, as Shun is just able to effortlessly clear vision.
Both sides of mid lane warded up by BLG. T1 though, they're trying to get control of the minion wave first. They can shove that in. Wait, Shun actually starting up Dragon while in darkness.
Owner.
Wait, don't tell me they give all the dragon.
Elk still clearing the mid lane. T1 with an angle into the fight. Able to group his 5, but Yagao waiting in the river. Yagao, is he just going to throw down the ultimate, buy a bit more time? 3k on the dragon, getting lower and lower. T1, will they be able to claim their prize?
No.
Can he do it one more time? Looking to move into the pit, but no, this time around, Shun takes the objective, but now the fight breaking out as Owner looks to get things kicked off. Faker leaping into follow-up.
No.
Just going to back away.
Oh, Shun, nerves of steel there. He pops the invisibility, stays around for the Q smite. He gets one back.
Then parry, use, Faker fishing for the charm, but will not connect. Yagao
Faker, oh!
Gets caught out, the counter-strike now to follow. Carrier going for the knockup, but it's not going to connect. BLG and T1 testing the waters, fishing for these angles of attack, with BLG coming out ahead.
These
Kill
fights
the
are
raptor
so
in 2
tense.
seconds.
That hook from Yagao, if it hit, could have been devastating for T1, but Faker
Everyone amazed by the skills that people try to
and now BLG are stepping forward.
TP into the mid lane, they've got the
Look
wave
at that
behind them.
kill.
They want to break
It's gone
open
by
this
2
mid lane
seconds.
tier 1, and they'll do so effortlessly. No
Yeah.
objective for them on the bottom side, break the tier 1 tower, but they're still moving there. Owner retreating now back to the safety of his own jungle.
Wow.
What do you
Sticking
see though?
around there.
He one
Shun
kill, smite,
committing
everything
to
go
that
off.
dragon, while T1 tentatively pushing their way into the river and coming over, but he sticks around. He critically gets it. It keeps you on such an early timer for that arrival of the soul for BLG. So even though they have a very small gold lead over T1, the dragon advantage is enormous. And if they keep getting in there first to set up the vision first with their Umbral Glaive, with their control wards,
Man.
it just makes it so risky for T1.
And we look at a potential future where BLG has an Infernal Soul. Carrier can never go alone to set up vision again without a sweeper to check the brushes ahead of time. Kha'Zix will one-shot him every single time. This game is only getting more difficult for T1. It's a small gold lead, but that is the dragon stacking, the mid lane control they have by taking down the turret, certainly making this game feel pretty favorable for BLG at this stage.
And I think a huge amount of that is still coming down to the AD carries, even though we're seeing the Fiora on the top side. We were hyped for this Jax versus Fiora matchup. It really has come down to Elk once more. Bin, though, will manage to dodge away. But when it comes to the positioning that Elk has had in fights, the ability for him to just get damage off, it has been in a significantly better scenario. Now BLG
Don't 1v1 the Fiora.
move in towards mid, but Bin in trouble.
Faker is here.
Bin backing away. Faker knows that he's not on vision, but Bin's still giving the respect anyway. We'll just back off here as you see a step forward on the top side.
They don't see Faker top. They're like,
Take some time if he wants to kill that tower. Take a bit of time, but just gonna get the TP out from Faker.
Excellent side laning from Bin, from BLG there, as their team is trying to commit resources.
Shouldn't buy the
The only possibility
The
for
skill
T1
hit
play
thing.
float open would be there. He does not give them the opening, and hence allows BLG control is behind Baron now. Once again, setting up through the river.
Shit.
Technically,
Game was
Wukong
so
can buy
basic
this
from
team.
BLG. It's been insane to see a team that was all about fist fighting. I mean, even Emily, I think on the desk was saying like champion kills per minute when you face a team like
Surely.
BLG skyrockets. But that's not what we're getting here. A much slower pace from this squad, making sure that they're actually in a position to take clever fights, set up, have Yagao as that front line, and they're not overstepping anywhere near as much as you would have seen from them domestically.
And game 1 was kind of the game we expected. Absolute bloodbath. Game 3 very T1 favored. Games 2 and Game 4 have been slow and controlled from both sides. Neither side looking to overstep or risk anything. BLG pushing in, clearing out vision. Keria waiting in the darkness. Has to be careful here. Infernal Rift making it that much easier for BLG to walk into enemy territory. Both gonna land. Yagao now backing away. Baron has to be on the mind of both sides as we're 21 minutes into the game, but it's a minute and a half till the objective. They're just trying to take some summoners off of Zeus, but
What?
no effect.
That's a pretty big chunk with the health bar, and considering Zeus gave up 30
The Q
seconds
doesn't
on the
block
mid wave
the-
bottom side.
Wait.
Now you'll see Bin
It doesn't
take
block the
control.
Q,
Bin on Fiora.
You mean the E?
With the opening on bottom side, guess what? Tower goes poof.
Shred through that one. Again, more gold in the back pocket of BLG, more pressure on the map. Something that's going to have to be responded to by T1 a minute until Infernal Dragon. Soul
That was E, man.
side of BLG. T1
You mean
And
the
melee
spin?
attack one.
You mean the
okay,
spin?
all right.
The control,
Spin,
the
spin.
confidence
Oh.
from
Oh,
this team.
it's actually Kuro Kuro.
All tournament long. BLG
I don't-
spamming emotes in your face.
Got
You see the classic jump forward to the Jax and does the
Q.
melee attack.
They haven't gone wrong yet. And now we'll have to see if the
He
business
cannot block
risk
that
is
Q, what
real.
the fuck?
It feels like this dragon is going to make or break this game. If
Maybe
T1
they considered
can
that,
secure T1 can find that space
skill
up
shot.
to get
I don't know.
their carries into a position, they will be in a good spot.
Does that mean Nexus Q he also cannot block? That can be right.
No control over bot side for a big
Hmm.
to join these fights. So BLG are forcing
Maybe.
onto Guma.
Fernango on the
Guma's
Guma.
alone?
To the knock-up, the feathers fly.
Okay,
Yagao now
force
gonna
out
walk away.
Alfie.
Happy to have the
Oh!
Looks free, engages.
Oh, no, why he alone?
He always likes to be alone, man, you don't know, man.
And it should just be the objective.
Oh my
BLG
God.
Secure themselves the soul. T1, will they be willing to fight a man down?
Guma doesn't burn the
That's
flash.
spotted.
He doesn't want to get away from it. So BLG now in a position. T1, what can you do? Owner,
Owner?
can you make the hero play again?
Welcome to Zeus.
No, 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 no.
Okay, getting lower and lower. Owner
Are
needs to
you
find a way to the
coming?
pit, but he's going to run away. It's Infernal Soul. It's match
Oh,
point for
they have to
BLG.
give.
T1 in dire straits.
BLG are running towards Baron. They want to try and get that vision control down as well. They know the T1 have to back away.
They certainly should. They've got already the map blacked out. My goodness, Yagao, he calls his shot ahead of time. Top lane, flashes the emote. Shun, slowing Guma in mid lane is all they need
Hit
to
that
get in
blast
range.
bomb, man.
And Guma still won't have his ultimate. Okay, they're just going to clear it out.
See where Zeus and Faker were. They wanted to try and push in onto the tier 2, but if they showed on that, BLG immediately could have started the Baron. So T1 forced the reset. BLG don't realize how much space they had there to actually try and
Bin
make something
uses
happen.
his second
Zeus
smite
is gonna
already.
stick around though and
Steal
look
the
for the tier
Raptor. He
2.
And
cannot bear.
regardless, Bin is going to sneak away another turret here. Goes up top side, finishes that one off.
P1 doesn't know that.
Tower gold for the Fiora.
No, they know that.
Ravenous
Unless they
coming in.
think
More
he didn't
sustain.
use smite on Dragon.
More pressure, you're able to just instantly clear
That's
a lot
what
of
I
those
said.
waves. Been only getting stronger on the
T1
side.
doesn't know that's the second smite.
Power point thus far, even if we haven't really seen a
They know
completion
it's
in some
one
of the fights, and BLG with an Infernal Soul backing them up are just so favored.
They know the first one.
And it's such a good power spike for your side lane. Once your Fiora gets the Ravenous, those
They-
minion waves.
They know he's
not
smited, they just
solve
don't know it's the
at all.
second
Just
smite, okay?
annihilate them. So BLG, they've got the all of the upper hand right now with the soul, with the vision over the objective first, and the priority for the side lane to quickly shove.
Yeah, you see it here.
Ayo, bro.
Yushi. But at this stage, not in the best spots. Doesn't have managed to flash away. Yagao manages to get the hook, and with that, BLG secure themselves a soul.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at the
To
camera.
be honest, he can still flash the hook, but
Exactly.
Well, scratch.
It was really well played from the BLG members, though. You know, Shun hit
Man.
it slow, and then they both moved to the side to avoid the ultimate feathers
feel
coming
like it
down.
might have still
Yagao
hit.
knows, easy trade here. My ult for your ult, and I hit you with the hook.
And see now what T1 can do. Really hard for them to control vision again. Purple Glaive is down, but now the sweeper is up. It is
They won the
absolute
Baron
control of the position on the
fight.
Top side for BLG, and Shun now just leaping in. Massive damage, just taking a chunk out of Zeus.
Disgusting.
Man.
Counter Strike does nothing to his melee attack. What is that?
And nothing that Zeus can
That's
do
a Q, right?
except take it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
off. Now he's
Yeah,
gonna
he
get
doesn't
back.
block the Q.
Repeat, counter-strike up
Again.
again.
You see?
More and
See?
more of his health taken away. Two members on the top side. T1's either opportunity to engage.
Oh, got him.
They find
Oh, die.
everything to bring them back against the Infernal Soul. They still find the
Oh,
fight, but
Guma
Bin
Yushi's
now
very
here.
low.
Bin looking to pop off. He's going to take out Guma.
Oh my
BLG
God.
keeping this one going. They have the Infernal Soul. Faker now running the blast cone. Taking
Oh,
out the
Faker.
TP coming out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The
Oh.
staggering.
Oh.
He still take the fight.
He got rotated.
Forget about Bin!
How
Bin
the
TP
hell?
into the Fiora, gets onto Guma Yushi. BLG turn towards the Baron. Owner over the side though.
Owner, do you have one more left in you? All of T1 praying to Owner right now. No flash, but he's got to.
Carrier's preying on Owner right now.
Waiting, holding their breath. BLG
If they lose
no.
this Baron, he's gonna
A lot of
cry.
members out now might even give him a better avenue. The stun now coming in. They're looking to keep the fight going. They're looking to take Bin out. Shun waiting over the wall. The Baron has been stopped. Can they take the fight? Zeus now going in on Shun,
What?
leaping back right over the wall. The Shun
Oh.
is huge.
Oh,
over Bin.
damn.
And
Oh.
BLG might have just thrown everything
Oh,
away.
damn.
Oh.
In the face of disaster, the flip of a coin could just decide.
Get that bitch!
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Zeus,
Huh?
Oh my
What?
god.
Zeus
Zeus
got busted.
moment. Make sure the play sticks.
The raging ball from out of the trees comes over the wall. T1 were trying to chase down BLG. Really punished them for taking the
Oh my
Baron.
God.
But
When they-
just about Alakazam to get into the position to take them down.
I'm pretty
This
sure Owner
this
used his W
this
in the
Chi
fight,
this
but he didn't
LPL
have W
caster,
to
he
get
keeps
over
saying
for the smite
those
fight
Chinese
yet.
nicknames
And
in
that's
English.
why BLG
It's so
made
cringe, you
the
know.
call to finish. Even after losing members,
It's like,
over
oh
the
my
side
god,
of
the raging
wall.
bull.
Here
What bull?
is the origins though. We talked about it.
Oh my god, it's Ali
teleport
Stein.
in from the top laner. Bin comes in, they find
And,
Faker.
and then when he's
teleport
talking
Yagao.
about
Yagao don't care.
like what
Hits him with the auto.
the
Now,
RNG
it's
new
crazy. T1
new
over the side.
ADC,
They're trying to buy time.
It's like, oh my
only
god,
two members
the-
of BLG over here.
the crazy
He
dog.
dashed into the pit with his counter
I'm
strike
like,
on
bruh.
to force them out.
The
And then,
crazy
It does not
dog.
sound cool in
with
English,
this
okay?
fight,
It
he's
sounds
stuck on the
cringe.
outside. The cooldown's still too long. Shun and On made the call since they saw him.
Oh,
use his
Honor
W
is not
in the
inside.
skirmish behind the
Oh
Baron.
my.
Yeah lah,
They
Owner
know he
cannot.
can't get in the pit.
No,
Owner
Honor.
doesn't have that
The
CD.
W he don't
They burn
have
the
W
Baron
already.
down, even though
I
they're
mean
low
not
health.
E or W. I forgot. it.
W.
Yeah, yeah. He don't have the W. If not, I think he can get it. I think.
This time protected by the team, ready to usher this wave forward, picking up extra kills in the back of that fight. Owner
Oh, they
know.
but Bin on the bottom side.
And Faker is on a ward.
Demands an answer from the side of T1, but Shun is there to back him up,
So pain.
ready to shadow him, ready to go all in if they need to find these picks. For T1, it is now do or die. A single mistake with the Baron buff.
Oh, so pain.
The game will cost you the series, the tournament.
Everyone loses to their own strats, bro.
BLG want to make it Bin the last defender.
They lose to
MSI
Sion, they
wanting to
lose
make
to
sure he gets
Kha'Zix.
back to the finals, pushing into the bot side, spreading
What is
T1
this?
thin.
What?
What is this
Already got
MSI?
shots and turrets, but right
I thought
now,
Kha'Zix was
not willing
already
to get
playing
in.
the group stage.
T1 have decent wave control.
Yeah lah, but nobody builds the thing until Owner builds it, man.
They need just a little bit more.
They don't quite have the range or the safety. The lead is big, but not enough to just start diving towers.
Owner's the one that's moving Oracle's lens.
Crucially, was taken out in the fight, so can't just solo push those towers. Faker now immediately pushing for the engage.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Find him, he goes golden. It's a brief moment that he
Wait,
buys for
wait,
himself
wait.
and his team.
Wait. Pull.
And Faker will find Elk. Yagao in the midst of the waiting arms of T1. They will gladly.
Okay,
This
good.
is their chance. This is their
E-Flash is
opportunity.
beautiful.
They need to tear through BLG.
Faker saw the angle. He takes the chance. They get the kill.
Look at the beat. They're trying to move in.
Elder,
Fiora's still
Elder,
trying to
Elder.
Split it.
Elder.
Big
It's
Big
life for death now at this stage of the game. If they can burn through Elder, they
Oh, Elder, please.
Wait.
Next fight, but it's
Kha'Zix is
Oh,
up.
Kha'Zix.
Can he be the one to steal it away?
Bruh.
Elder has taken so many for him, just
Bruh.
buying time for Bin.
Bruh.
Bin has a match from Zeus.
No,
He can't just simply end
no.
the game. He'll at least grab an inhibitor. Elder could be everything. Shun uncontested.
Kill
right
that.
now, ready to go in. It's getting
Oh
lower.
my god, it's a
Lower.
burger flip of a lifetime.
Pit, but this time,
Oh
Owner
my.
is on top.
My god.
With all of Korea watching, Owner hits that smite. They get the Elder Dragon. The hope for T1 alive.
The base was breached by Bin, but T1 come out with such a huge buff. 2 minutes now. We have to see how much they can try and get done. There's so much standing gold on the map. Bounties.
Zaya
for T1, and
has
it starts
Oh, that clan. I mean that charm though.
RE flash.
They get the stopwatch. They immediately kill him as soon as he comes out. Everyone collapsing. You see, Shun was clearing wards.
But yeah, both of. I mean the Fiora and all of them very far.
When we get back to live.
Oh, what?
What?
No.
All right, we'll keep you updated.
No.
With information on the pause. In the meantime, take a breath.
Well, this is the first pause I saw in MSI. What?
No, this is not the first pause. You know which game The scene. I think it's a C9 game or
Guma needs to shit.
In this series, throughout this tournament, there's so much excitement.
Guma needs to shit. Oh wait, never mind.
Oh no.
I thought he go to toilet. What the fuck?
See if we can get it.
Oh, he spilled the water. Spilled the water. I think. Yeah, I think he spilled the water.
To go right, a drink was knocked over. You reset.
Go to toilet to fill up this water.
And it's almost a nice.
They'd be like watching it, like, dude, you spill.
Everyone on stage, still a person, still having a good time, still just playing.
Stay calm. You don't know. I mean, Guma drink the most water one.
This can go either direction. The fact that you have
It's sweaty.
flashing forward to get that charm onto Elk just not having that opportunity to respond.
ADC ma, use too much
And it
finger.
all come down to those little moments. Now with T1 with this Elder Dragon.
Jerry use even more fingers, man.
You need to have your fingering skill.
Oh, all those moments that you flashed in the world.
The part where he knocks over his drink.
That's fair. Okay, here we are. Elder buff. Still there for T1. A window where they've got more power than the Infernal Drake on the opposite side. Let's see what they can do with it.
Oh my. Okay. Elder Dragon. So much possibility with this. Because you can force so much here by
Jerry's
T1.
wave clear is too good, lah.
Upside's really heavily pushing against them, and they had Zeus on bottom side, so kind of hard to go overreach and get that objective.
Any help? Help! I forgot this game cannot jump.
Oh no, what are you doing? They know.
This is going to be a case of like trying to get this mid
Okay.
tower, now moving Zeus top to get that top outer turret, just get that goal that's easily available and try and close the
They
distance.
can't use this Elder.
Yeah, that thing doesn't last forever.
They-
Let's see if
they'll
can
just
get some
not
objective
fight.
bounties
Nope.
out of it, though. They keep the pressure up here. You can try and poke down. Zeus now gonna have to do one more minion wave topside.
Oh, they're going for Zeus.
Before On got there.
How strong is Shun right now?
He could have, if he waited for On to come with him on the blast cone.
Isolating the Kha'Zix, Zeus not going to follow, forcing Shun away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, T1 getting aggressive, taking the objective bounty, getting the goal that much closer to even. 1.5k at this stage of the game is not meaningful.
Look at the Fiora in the bot lane though. Essentially BLG are like, look, you can take mid, you can take top outer, but if you try to threaten for any more, you're not going to be in a good spot. Faker now has to reset to make sure he can deal with the super creeps that are going to be coming into that lane. So T1, they will get a little bit, but they're not going to get much more than this.
And I think that's the goal. That was the margin right there. You want to try and get your 2 objective bounty shutdowns with that Elder Dragon. Like you said, don't overreach. Don't give up any more picks. They also funnel the solo gold into Zeus. Owner just hovers around for support if anyone tries to pick him. Gives him that vision, gives him the confidence to get it.
And again, we're in a situation where a single team fight
Need
is
a
very
boot.
likely to decide the game. Of course, you can see a lot of the luxury items, I think as you call them, Kobe, the stopwatches.
Guma actually has one full item ahead, somehow.
Potentially one final fight to decide it. The Baron 1 second
Wait,
away,
never
BLG
mind.
with control, with mid
They
lane
have the
priority.
same items, never mind.
He's going to take as much vision as they can away from the side
Oh,
of T1.
what?
Oh, what?
His life.
Oh, it's carrier. I thought that was
I thought it's
Guma.
Zaya. I also thought it's Zaya.
I also thought it was Guma, man. It's like, oh shit, if Guma is, if that was Guma, is 100% over.
On a control.
Oh, owner.
But they can't defend this if
Oh,
they just
shit.
give it. You send Fiora to the bot side, she can get
I think
that
they need
lane
to
in,
give
but they're not
lah,
gonna
yeah.
commit to Zeus. BLG off that pick, they're going to get the Baron. And just once more, BLG getting control of this game.
Now, what can they do with this buff? Can they close it out? Can T1 find another angle, another
Jerry
another way
got.
to take him out of
So
the
I
fight?
mean
Around
the
GA, so they'll have
what
to do it twice.
Guardian.
That topside pressure point. Zeus doing everything he can on the bottom side to make sure that wave is pushed out.
Oh,
will look
Zeus
to
also.
respond. Been alone for now on the top side. Can't afford to overstep too much. Should just take this tier 2 and back away. 600 gold in his back pocket.
This is exactly what Bin needs to do, just create this pressure in the side lane. Elk now stepping up once more. We saw Faker make the hero play, has that flash once more. Keria has flash on the side as well, sitting on that pink board. Elk needs to be so careful, doesn't have the rest of his team yet, just trying to keep the pressure up.
Trying to get any cooldowns they can out of Elk, and Mikhail's available on as well, as you highlighted. Need to layer their CC perfectly if they just want to take the Zeri out.
EP.
Both these mid laners taking turns, making flash pick plays.
It's the Lulu shield.
Guma.
Now with the power of
Plus
the
he
Baron,
got the what?
Shirelia's kicking the fight off.
Oh,
that's not a good engage.
Oh shit!
It's a
Bin now
GG.
on the way in, but they pull back. For now, it's just a tower. Slow, steady,
No.
taking an explosive engage, turning it into a small advantage. BLG
Oh
will not
my
overstep.
god!
That's two inhibitors down.
That Zeri ulti is still so much damage. I mean when he bursts.
Wait, Owner has flash out though.
They take just
I think he don't want to risk that. I
They still
think.
though, they just can't get back out of the map. Maybe one
feel
more
like that's
minion
a
wave they can try and
good
use this
fight if
for,
you
but
ask me.
Getting another super creep wave in will give a lot of pressure towards BLG. Bin again just constantly threatening these side lanes. And now the opportunity to push in mid, lean towards that bot inhibitor. And with 2 inhibitors down, it feels like T1, their backs are definitely against the wall. Elimination game for T1 and time feels like it's ticking away.
Certainly is, and even if you could find an angle in this game,
They
there's
have
one
to
more.
waste their time.
1 minute at a
Baron.
time.
I think Guma's buying IE last item.
Yeah.
Any angle, any opportunity. Flash up for
Now they need to set the Elder fight already.
They cannot set lah.
far ahead.
Kha'Zix too OP.
PA with the stopwatch
Look at that
on the
1-3-1.
side.
It's not Kha'Zix that's OP, it's that item.
Bin on the top tower.
But only Kha'Zix can buy the
They've
item.
timed this beautifully.
Massive
You
damage.
see Wukong got buy me?
Huge chunk coming in for the Ultra Shock.
Even though Wukong can buy also.
It's just they don't want
Because
to
he's
buy it.
also...
Wukong buy is very
That's the
weird.
point I
Do
think.
not want to make any mistakes here.
Wukong.
They
And
got
they
the thing
can
Wukong
easily do it
Nah.
with the poke here from the Kha'Zix.
If Wukong buy, it's very weird though.
Constantly poking them up, constantly pushing them.
But if you want a match vision control, then you have to buy lor. Just for that one item at least.
T1 have to try and come into this blind. Fiora in the bot side for Bin.
Oh, look at those free money.
Someone has to deal
No,
with that.
the
And
Fiora want to
T1
backdoor. The Fiora want to backdoor.
on the forefront. Yagao hiding here.
Jack,
Who
stop
does he
it.
manage to get the
Yagao is right. Oh, Guma is right there. Holy shit.
Both sides know what's in front of them. Steal or have the game
It's a
stolen.
5v4.
Oh
And
no.
Guma is very exposed.
BLG slowly but surely burning through this one. T1 fishing, looking for an angle.
But they're going for the wave. They're not going to go for the elbow.
No. I think they also don't want to
Bot side
risk.
if they want to.
Yeah.
T1 have to be so careful how they position here.
Well highlighted, Dagda. They don't have the information they need to make an educated decision. They don't have the vision. All that they
It's
know
a
is that the
bait.
Dragon
They're
is
gonna
connected,
do it again.
and someone on BLG is hitting it. With just a piece of information, they have to go for it. They have to find the gamble. They have to find the angle.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Final
Ah,
moments
shit.
for T1. Can they do it? Do they have what it takes?
Full send, here we go.
Oh, he missed the
Zeus
hook.
has arrived.
Shun taking a decent chunk. Guma on the front line.
Out.
Really gonna get ulted. It's gonna force
It's
out the
out for
Fed.
out
That's now
again.
Coming down. Redemption on the backside to keep
Oh,
him healthy.
Faker used
Mid
out,
between Zeus and
shit.
Faker, but he's doing just fine. Snare onto Yagao. Slow, controlled. Infernal Slow poke starting to come in. Kha'Zix not gonna find purchase on the void spikes. Owner into the backside. Owner fishing.
That's
Oh.
good.
Standing for now.
That's way too
So
fast. GG.
much damage. T1 shot their shot, but I don't think it's gonna be enough because at the end of the day,
Oh, no.
the fight, they are too damn strong.
GG.
T1 getting
GG.
They don't have to pause, they have to pause because the minions are coming in.
The series.
The script is strong. The 3-1 for BLG will remain as they will go for the finish.
They had to push because
BLG take care
it's the
of
same like when I tell you guys like don't fight,
It was supposed
just let
to
the
be
minions kill the
EG, It was
beast.
supposed to be Genji. It was supposed to be
Bruh.
T1. But here at MSI,
Must go in.
BLG
I'm like,
Must go in.
don't
Must
fucking fight,
must
just
crack some
don't
shit.
fight, don't fight.
Expectations, they move to the final.
Ichi to fight. I want to
So at the end is LPL versus LPL.
The first time at an international
This
event, we will see
small ass
an
coach is.
LPL final.
Oh!
And you can see Tabe is
What's that?
ecstatic about that for
Yeah, it's
BLG.
Why is Sakai?
The Tabe
He
celebration.
he combed a lot today.
Been calling his shot in his interview, even tweeted out.
Every win he just combed. He make that cool
They will
face.
also take care of T1.
It'd be like, oh!
And then, on top of that, if they do the 3-1, he said they will 3-2 JDG.
He's like,
And just an incredible.
So now they
Once
actually.
they ban the Trisante.
yeah, now they're actually out.
Cannot
that's too
say it
tough.
enough, the defiance of expectations. That one T1 lineup, the first time they will not make it to
Fakeable,
finals.
I'm too old for this shit.
Overall, but BLG again, a team that nobody expected. A team that seemingly came out of nowhere from a mediocre regular season.
Fakeable, I don't feel shit.
I don't feel.
This is
not my
fine.
first time.
Just a normal Monday.
Of what we saw, and a reverse of what we saw at Worlds. Where was the LPL getting knocked out in the semi-finals, not advancing to finals. We got that
Oh,
all
the
around.
pinky bot.
This time around, it's T1 being knocked out instead of JDG or BLG. And for the LCK,
Oh, now they go in here, bro.
now they,
team that was
now
so
they go
dominant in the
bottom.
regular
Oh my god.
stage, just nobody
What?
themselves across the finish line.
Amazing.
Then what are those stairs for?
Story for BLG. No longer the underdog. No longer the underdog.
Why he looks so sad, you want to cry?
Absolutely tearing through MSI.
No, the real person that's crying is not on camera.
A force to be
Got cry, man? Who cry?
No matter how much we talk about their weaknesses, they always seem
Caught
to
in the
find
middle, and then I cried
They-
a
Someone
little.
is like, ah, well.
I think
He's
we
like,
let
he's
it go.
always aggressive. He's
Oh
super
no,
dominating in his
before
performances
this
here. You look
cried
at the
just a
jump,
little.
it's no longer here. It's a great elk in that bottom lane.
Okay, carry on.
BLG
Oh
being
my
able to
god.
leverage these into team fights,
carrier
and push
face.
them into success is absolutely
You did the pin
outstanding. But now one more hurdle lies in their way. But as we talk about that, T1 will take the stage.
one final goodbye. London, Copperbox, give it up for T1 one more time. A valiant effort.
Well then.
Heartbreaking for the T1 fans and an organization with such incredible international
Fakeable,
pedigree.
like, alright, time to go back
But
stream,
again,
get
just
more money.
further showing us that BLG is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
It's so
Faker
rare to
rich
see
already lah.
an
He play for fun.
organization on the international
Play for
stage
fun.
do something
Yeah,
so
like,
great to find
I have
He be
reached
like-
the end of life.
I'm the freaking
their
T1.
tenacity and the journey they've
That's
been on.
it.
They've played so many games to get to where they are now.
And then making other teams pick carries on top side into bin, making them play their game.
That's
Elk
some
stepping
time
up,
to continue.
massive.
I think if
I like that
I
name,
mean,
Elk, because that is your
everything
1+ player of the series. I think to the surprise
at the end
of
the
just
MVP
about
lah,
no one.
the-
He can do the
because the
Jinx
Elk
Velios, he can do the Zeri.
doing very good
Just feeling like an
in this
inevitability
whole
in so many of these fights.
And as I said,
Oh,
it's
MSI.
incredible to see the journey of this man. Going from someone who was so coin flipping on WE to say people down
He
he
kite-
could ever step up to
his
be
kiting
a
is
true
not-
carry for a
not
team.
gonna lie.
That
And now to
flash
see him
pull
taking the
was
team
he missed the
into
flash
an
pull on
MSI
game one.
finals after being denied when he was back
He-
at WE,
he
when
saw,
getting to his first
who was it,
international.
Pace or
We're getting
someone?
to see the power of Elk at
He
this
saw
level.
someone burst him on the field, so he's like, oh, flash pull, and then the ADC did.
You know, they lose some of that aggression. This man still gale forces forward more than 50% of the time. This is a guy who has played true to his style, but found ways to clean it up and just continues to get better and better on the international stage.
Beautiful stuff from him. Team fighting, squeezing out extra little bits of damage all game long. Even not in the team fights that are highlighted so often, even in some of the standoffs towards mid, chunking people out previously, able to get these micro advantages for the team.
And in a region that has people that were like Viper, Uzi, I mean, Deft over there at one stage, to now see this new roster of LPL talent starting to come up as well is absolutely incredible. Like, he is really making a name for himself, and I'm hoping that we get to see more of him.
NP5 Kiara, baby.
Slow down a little bit.